last month. My cousin actually won it, and it's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying what's going on right now. So without further ado, I think we're gonna jump in and talk to Mr. Rocky Williams himself, and we are gonna start this. So if y'all are ready, I'm ready. So let's jump on in here and do this really quickly. Wow! It's Mr. Rocky Williams himself. What's up, Rocky?
Okay, there we go. Watching the stream delay.
Yeah, it's got that little delay.
Today's an interesting day.
I agree 100%.
Can I get
All
this
right.
chat to pop out so I don't look at this delay?
Okay.
Yes, I can. There we go. Cool.
So, Mr. Rocky, if you would like to, please introduce yourself to the chat. Introduce yourself to the millions of people. I don't know if it's really millions. I just like to hype myself up.
It'll be millions one day for you, buddy.
Maybe.
But my name's Rocky, or RockyWilliam 159. Everyone always adds an S. It's okay. Call me what you want. I'm a variety streamer. I do weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all during the evening. It's a little late for some people because I'm West Coast. So I start usually around 9 p.m. Pacific time, but I am going to be looking to integrate another day that's earlier on to capture a wider audience for you guys.
Nice. That's what we like to hear. All right, this says streamer mode's enabled. I don't know what the hell's this doing. It says, like, I literally just clicked on it. It said streamer mode enabled. So we should be good. I apologize for that. I wanted to make sure that was running smoothly on my end.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
I say that's one hell of an introduction. Not gonna lie to you. I like.
Hey, we talked about it last night. Hashtag sellout.
No, I want you to know that had me laughing incredibly hard.
Dude,
All
and
right.
hashtag money grab. Let's go.
We got to do it. It's part of it now. It's guaranteed. We need to make you merch. This is hashtag money grab.
I know. I got some merch on here.
We got to we got to put money grab right underneath it.
Oh, I'm gonna do it. That's my next. I'm working on that this week then.
All right, so Mr. Rocky, the way I like to start these off, I treat everybody that comes to my channel as a friend, even if I haven't met them before, or we've talked quite a bit in the past,
Yeah,
say,
a little bit.
say couple of weeks. So I've got to know you a little bit better, but I like to treat everybody here as family. So I'd like to do a little checkup on you mentally. How are you doing, bro? Are you doing good?
In general, yes. As of 30 minutes ago, I've been a little pissed off, but in general, I'm good.
That sounds like a work problem.
It's not actually.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
My landlord said they sent out an email the other day saying, "Hey, we're gonna be doing some like repaving in the parking lots. Between Monday and Thursday, we'll be sectioning off the parking lot, so it's gotta be vacated." And I get home today about 30 minutes ago, and the entire parking lot is blocked off.
Oh shit, that's never fun.
So there is a chance that he calls me back because I have to yell and bitch at him. There's a chance he might call me in the middle of this. So
Well, I mean, hey, listen, if you gotta step off, that's fine. I hit my little Vogue pose and whatnot, trying to keep everybody entertained. But all right, so I know I sent you the list of questions already. I'm gonna start with the one I've been asking a lot recently on this first part. Rocky, what is your ultimate goal when it comes to streaming?
so I just want to be self-sustainable and be able to take care of my wife and future children.
Okay. Hey, Rocky's wife is in the building. Welcome in,
Yes, she
welcome
is.
in. Thank you for coming and enjoying this.
Thank you,
So,
wife.
so you just want to be able to not necessarily be 100% full time, but be good enough to be able to like, all right, this is my job. It's paying the bills.
I mean, I'd like it full time, but like I don't necessarily have the goal of being like the best streamer or the most viewed or whatever. I just want to be able to do this and support myself and my wife.
That's a respectable goal. Not gonna lie to you. So everybody that's been here before, they know my ultimate goal is to be number one. That's what I'm going. Number one Viking. Now, number one overall, that we'll talk about that if I hit the number one Viking slot. Then I'll start setting other goals. So, I read a quote the other day, and it said that if you have dreams with no ways of obtaining them, I don't remember the exact way they worded it, or dreams without goals without dream, or yeah, dreams without goals. Sorry, brain's doing crazy things today. If you have dreams without goals, you'll never succeed because you can dream about something all you want, but you have no goal and no way to push yourself to that. So that's why I set my goal. My goal is set high for a reason. And it's not because I fully think I'm going to make it there. And like, I have a lot of self-doubt in myself, but I'm slowly getting away from that. But that is why I set my goal so high. That's why I want to be full-time in this sense, because that's my dream. My dream is to entertain people and you know, just sit here and have fun and talk and meet new people. So that is my ultimate goal. And it may change moving forward. I don't know. I have a couple other smaller things in the works that I'm keeping pretty close to the chest. I haven't really told anybody yet, other than my wife. And honestly, I don't even think I've told her everything I plan on doing. But story for another day.
I feel that you and I kind of talked very, very briefly. I'm doing the same thing right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, mine is like way into the future. I still got a lot of research to do before I can even start setting mine up in my way.
Fair enough.
All right, so let's jump into the nitty gritty. Actually, you know what? Before we jump into that, I'm going to ask you a couple other questions because I skipped over the mental health parts. I like doing that. I like to check in on everybody.
Yeah.
All right, so one of the reasons I asked the mental health question is because everybody deals with mental health issues differently. So, like, you have the issue going on with your parking lot at the moment. When you have that mental spot where you're like, I'm about to snap, or it's about to be a bad mental day. What is something you do that helps bring you back to where you're in the green levels, like where you're not about to explode on everybody?
Oh, I have to sit by myself for a bit and just kind of mindlessly scroll on something, or just like the YouTube video or TikTok or something. Just background noise. Maybe talk to a friend that I know I can just not necessarily like bitch to, but like, because I don't always want to talk about it, but
Yeah.
just like talk in general, and it usually helps calm me down. Like, uh, yeah, I just have to do something like that. Sit down by myself. It doesn't matter if my wife's here or not. Like, I'll just have to go separate myself because I'll be an asshole, and I'll be an asshole to her, and she doesn't deserve it. But yeah, I just gotta sit by myself for a little bit sometimes, or depending on the situation, I have to talk to her and just kind of vent it out and
Mm-hmm.
just talk it through.
I have found that sometimes venting to people is potentially the better way to go about things because I'm kind of the same when I get pissed off to the point. I like to bottle things up. I don't talk to people about my problems. I guess that's just how I was raised, and you know, I'm a man. I was raised in by the generation. Well, you're a man. Rub some dirt on it. Don't talk about it.
Yep.
So, I definitely feel you on that. I'm trying to get better at communication when it comes to having issues like that. I do find, I guess, because of how deeply ingrained in my brain that is, it's a lot harder. And I am a father, so I'm trying to teach my son not to be the way I am, which is weird because I don't find myself to be a bad man. It's just one of those, I know I have bad tendencies, and I want to make sure I don't pass those along. So,
For sure.
one of the things I found, like you said, being by myself, just being alone with my thoughts. It's one of the best ways when I'm actually angry for myself to calm is for me to calm down is to be by myself because I can talk myself out of my head and be like, okay, I just need to calm down. Other people chirping in my ears, it just makes me more mad. That or I'll go out in my backyard and I'll put some work on my heavy bag. That helps a
Oh,
lot. Not gonna lie.
yeah,
But
you just gotta calm down enough to the point where you can talk it out.
yeah,
Because
some
talking out is the ultimate thing, but you just have to get into the right mental state to do that.
yeah, and sometimes getting to that point is the very tricky part.
Yes.
All right, so let's move into our first real question. Well, I guess the ultimate goal is a real question, but we're gonna move into the actual questions. All right. So what got you into becoming a streamer? What made you say, I want to do this?
So when I was young, this had to have been early high school at the yeah, it was probably early high school, freshman, sophomore year. Watching a lot of YouTubers. One of the big ones for me was KYR Speedy. He did a lot of like Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2 as his heydays. Like trolling people, whether it was his specifically with his friends, or he'll do a lot of search and destroy, ninja diffusing, finding different ways you can do it, or he'll do when they had the face off mode in Modern Warfare 3,
I
he
love
would
that
do
game.
attack insertion.
I love that so much.
Yeah, he'll put attack insertion in a little hidden spot in the room. He'll purposely get himself killed, say some funny shit to the person, like, dude, you're gonna die right behind you, and they freak out and he just kills them. And it's just some of the funniest stuff. And I'm like, I want to recreate that. I tried, I couldn't figure it out. I gave it up for some time. During the COVID era, my buddy Dome Splode, who's not streaming anymore right now, he's just going through some legal stuff before he can come back. Um, he posted up on Facebook one day. He's like, "Hey, I'm streaming on Twitch. Just come check me out." And I reconnected with him. I hadn't spoken with him in like 7 years since high school,
Mm-hmm.
and saw him do it. And I'm like, "This looks like fun. This looks like something I want to do." Saved up money, got the computer, and then the
Nice.
rest is kind of history.
Nice. See, so I started streaming because of kind kind of the same reasons. Was because I would watch other people have a lot of fun with their friends, and at the time, the only game I really played was Call of Duty. So like you said, watching people do like the ninja diffuses and just the funny kill comms and stuff. The group of people I played with, I couldn't tell you how many countless nights of just endless laughter we would have. And I was like, I want to do that. Like you said, I was like, I think we can do that. And I'll be honest with you, the friends that I had and were playing games with at that time, they're still friends. Like I still talk to them, but we don't play the game together no more. I noticed a severe decrease in their want to be in the picture when I started streaming, and I don't mean that in a bad way. They just their mouths was a bigger issue than I would like to admit, and they just didn't like having to watch their mouth while I was streaming. And I told them from the jump once I did hit the go live button, I was like, I'm taking this very seriously. I was like, I know I'm at the time. I was like, I know I'm a nobody, and that's fine. But I don't want I don't want to potentially run somebody off of my channel because y'all are acting crazy when y'all could just be respectful. And we just don't play the game no more. And they don't come to the streams and whatnot. It is what it is. It's part of it. I still love them, but that's part of it. If you're not gonna listen to somebody else when they're like, "Hey, I'm trying to be serious here," and you want to just keep playing, it's like, all right, then. Sometimes you gotta disconnect, but these things happen.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and once I finally did get away from Call of Duty, I started finding my love for other games. Like I've recently been stepping out of my comfort zone a lot by playing like horror games on my Friday night streams, and I found that I actually don't hate horror games as much as I thought. I'm still not as like drawn into them like I normally are, but I actually love playing them now. My Friday nights, I love doing these. And then another thing I step out of my comfort zone doing is these interviews. I've actually like, I still get nervous when I'm doing these and stepping out and talking to people, just because one, it's just a conversation, but at the same time, you never know what's going to happen on these. So I that's part of the reason I'm continuing. I feel like I'm rambling a lot. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. This is what I do in like a job interview. I just kind of say enough, and then it gets you going.
All right. All right. So let's move on to the next question. All right. So, how do you deal with people treating your content like it's poorly, or receiving your content poorly, or on the flip side, greatly?
I always love feedback. You tell me it sucks. Okay, tell me why. Tell me it's good. Tell me why. Because I can't grow as a creator if I don't have any kind of feedback. And if it's just someone saying it sucks, I'm like, okay, well, cool, it sucks. I'll move on. That's not good feedback. I can't do anything or grow if you can't tell me why it sucks or why it's good. Um, because that's why we all do this. We don't want to stay static.
Mm-hmm.
But if you give me feedback, whether it's positive or negative, I will take a look at it. I'll talk it over with not only my wife, but like my friends that I trust their opinions on with this, and see how I can integrate that feedback into not only my stream, but whatever else they're giving feedback on.
I absolutely love that answer because as a content creator, like you said, we have no idea how to grow unless you get feedback, whether it's positive or negative. Um, Recently, I've been getting a lot of positive feedback from people, and that's helped me grow my channel because it's helping grow my confidence. And it's one of those that it's more appreciated than a lot of people understand.
Oh yeah.
Like that little message when like if I'm talking and my camera is out of focus, like, hey, you're out of focus, and I can fix that. Or if I'm in here and I'm talking and my mic is robotic and I can't hear it, and you're like, hey, check your mic real quick. Boom. Those are quick, easy fixes. And some people actually get frustrated about that. Have you ever ran into somebody that actually like you're like, hey man, something's up with your mic, and then like they actually get mad about it?
Uh, not. I don't think I have. Um, I don't know what I'd do in that situation if I tried to give someone feedback and they got mad. I think I just leave.
So I have a story about that. Also, Clever, welcome in, welcome in. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us tonight. So I have a story about that. I've stated a couple other times that some of the ways I spend my days I don't stream, I spend them by supporting people I've never met before, and I come in there and I hang out. I had one dude, his mic was super low, like you could hear every bit of the game behind him, and you could barely hear him talking. It sounded like he was whispering. So I sent him a message, trying to be respectful. And I even said, I said, hey, I'm not trying to overstep, but I just want you to know that your mic is really, really low. And he didn't blow up, but like he was like, this is my damn stream. This is how I do things. If you don't like it, I was just like, all right, then, bro, say less. I'm out. And I really don't understand why some people are that way because again, it's at the end of the day, how are you gonna react to people or speak with people if they can't even hear you? So it was one of those like I was like, I don't, whatever. I just respectfully I said, okay, well have a good day, and I left. But like there are some people out there that actually real deal get mad about this shit. It's weird.
Yeah, they it's like they take it almost too serious, but not serious at all at the same time.
Yes. All
I
right.
don't get it.
Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense to me personally. I don't understand it, but to each their own. Everybody does things differently. Probably
They are
insecure.
probably insecure. Yeah.
That's a good point. All right, so Mr. Rocky, I'm gonna ask you a question I haven't asked anybody yet before, and it's not on the list I sent you.
Ooh, I'm excited.
How did you come up with your Twitch name?
So this has been my gamer tag, the RockyWilliam 159, since I started on the PlayStation 3.
Nice.
Um, I just took it and I've used it pretty much literally anywhere I can use it to sign in, which is probably a terrible thing to say on Twitch, but whatever. Whatever, passwords change. But yeah, it's just my name with numbers that I just randomly typed on the keyboard.
Boochie got you with the hydrate. Also, welcome in Booch. Booch was our guest last week.
I know I
Booch,
still need
your
to finish that VOD.
your episode is up on YouTube right now, just so you know. I uploaded it before we went live. But yes, I think I've told my story about how I got my name on Twitch a couple of times. Not too many. So a lot of people don't know this. I was actually an MMA fighter for quite a while. I was an active fighter for about 8 years. I've spent a lot of years training. I still keep up with training. I just don't actively fight. My name came from my fourth fight. So my IRL last name is Riddle. All right. So hear me out on this. So on my fourth fight, I had kind of a grudge match with somebody. We had been talking a lot of shit back and forth in the leading up to the fight, and I knocked him out in the first round. I hit him with a mean knee uppercut combination, and knocked him out.
Oh,
And when I was leaving, I was, I'm doing I'm talking my shit, walking out. I was like, it's just what we do. And one of the fans stopped me. He said, "Man, you're like the Riddler." And I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And he's like, "Because when you get mad, you're gonna riddle them with punches, or it's a riddle how you gonna knock them out." And I was like, "I like it. I love it. I'm sticking with it." That's how I got my name. I've stuck with it ever since.
dude, 12 out of 10 best like comments you could ever make to a fighter.
Yeah. He told me that, and I was just like, "Damn!" Because at the time, I didn't have a nickname. I was still new. I think nicknames come and go, but that was the thing. He hit me with it, and I was like, "Shit! I don't care if anybody else likes this or not. I like it."
You gotta hit me with the link with some of your fights, dude.
I'll have to find them. I don't have any of them on YouTube that I know of. Unless if you find them, then tag me, link them to me. My brother does have my fights on DVDs, but he works on a barge, so it's really hard for us to communicate.
That makes sense.
What is going on with my glasses right now? I apologize. I look like a gremlin without my glasses. All right, so moving on to
Oh,
the.
dude. No glasses. Let's go. Now I'm blind.
All right, so moving on to the next question. What is your favorite part about being a streamer?
It's gonna be probably the same answer that I think everybody's given, but it's the interaction with the community. Not only mine, but like everyone else's community that I'm a
That's
part of.
okay. I'll be honest with you. I don't expect another answer from most people. A majority of the people that have been on the show or are coming to the show are very big community people. So I expect that answer to remain pretty much the same. And I agree. I think having the community back you up is an extremely important thing. And a lot of people just I think a lot of people who don't succeed or catch their footing is because they never try to build a community of people. And when I say community, you don't have to have 40, 50 people in a community. You can have 3 people and that's a community. If y'all three are solid and y'all there supporting, loving each other, that's you having a community of people. And
Oh,
I'm going to use the analogy. It's like building a wall. You can only build a wall one brick at a time. And if it's one person at a time, as long as you don't forget about the other people, your community will grow and grow and grow. And a lot of people don't understand it. A lot of people, I guess, see other people doing so successfully or already have an established community of people, and they're like, "Well, I don't already have that," and they give up on it. I've been there. I'll admit it. I've told some people I've thought about quitting streaming more times than I can count, but I have friends and people that are like, "Hey, just ride it out, see what happens." And now I have a great community of people behind me, and I love my community so fucking much. They're fucking amazing, and I appreciate everybody that is a part of my community and that has allowed me to be a part of their community as well.
except for Johnny. He's telling you to quit.
Johnny, we're clipping that. No, just kidding. No, Johnny has actually talked me out of quitting quite a few times. Um, me and him talked a lot back when I first started, and there's a few times I just messaged him. I was like, look, bro, I'm fucking done. Like I love it, and this is back when I was super worried about numbers. I would look at it and be like, bro, I'm done. It's over. I'm just not gonna stream no more. I'm gonna be finished with this. You're like, bro, just keep going. It'd be alright. I know you're in a rough patch right now, but just keep it moving. And I appreciate him for that because now I'm where I am now. I'm moving forward and trying to get better, and I'm learning a lot of new things, making myself better and stuff. So I do appreciate Johnny a lot for helping me and talking me off the edge as many times as he did.
I mean, we may get to it eventually. Yeah, don't be mean to me. That's right. West is on my side. We are the M West Coast gang over here.
Oh, we got the
Uh,
West Coast gang now. Okay, okay.
no, the M West Coast gang.
Oh, I bet you gonna rock
Uh,
this.
John, but we might get to it eventually. But Johnny's actually part of the reason why I'm still streaming too. Um, he rated me before I was affiliate, just randomly. Um, thanks to a suggestion to may she rest in peace, but Grandma Kelpid for anyone that knows of her. She was an
Grandma
amazing
was
streamer and an amazing
Grandma
person.
was an amazing person.
But because of that suggestion that she made, because she just found me playing Little Nightmares, and Johnny was just like, cool, let's rate him, and that was a big push to get me towards affiliate. And Johnny's just been an amazing person since, and he just keeps driving me to not only stream but um cover the sensitive bits. But my Adderall, getting diagnosed with ADHD, Johnny did it first, and it gave me the push to do it, to
Yeah.
go out and get diagnosed.
Johnny is a huge inspiration to many people in the community. And
Yeah.
that's one of those, like, I say it to a lot of people that I don't think we give enough people their flowers as often as they deserve it, because there's a lot of people that are in the communities that some of us might not be even close to where we are without that person's help. And they're like, I try to tell Johnny and Mr. West, he's in the chat. I try to tell them as often as I can how much I really truly appreciate them, because they're all so busy doing stuff, and they make the time to make sure they help. And they've inspired me to help. Like, one, I'm learning all my overlays, I'm learning OBS, I'm learning a lot of other stuff in the background, and it's allowing me to help other people do it now. And it's because they're giving me that push to be like, hey, don't give up. Because if I would have gave up, I have, in the past month, I've helped 4 or 5 people help with their OBS, helped them with overlays and transitions and stuff. And that's because of Johnny and West, because they taught me. And it's one of those, yeah, I still have to message them and ask them questions, but I've learned enough to be able to help other people. And that makes me extremely appreciative, because say I meet somebody new and they're in my community now, but they don't know Johnny and West, I can be like, hey, I can help you now without having to, like, hey, this I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I have to send you out to them. So it's
Yeah.
one of those, I appreciate them more and more every day, because they're allowing me to grow and help others the way they've helped me grow and learn in this process, and it makes me very much appreciative of them.
Yeah, I mean, you literally had someone asking today in your Discord for help with OBS, and I know you were working, like you said, and Kainsey was there to help.
Me and Kenzie actually helped her as soon as I got off work. Got off work and we
Even better.
jumped as soon as I got home. Came in and we got to work on. We got her stuff set up for the basics. She doesn't have a camera yet, so we got pretty much everything else sorted out. So that was a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, man. It's tedious.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm trying to do that with Clever right now, and
It's
it's hard
clever.
scheduling wise. Clever unused name. He's one of my.
Oh, the one.
I guess he
Yeah,
moved.
here. Sorry, I read clever. You
Um,
say clever, and in my head I was like, "Who the hell's that?" But I literally just saw his name 2 seconds ago. I apologize.
oh, you're good. But yeah, I worked with him in the past. Professional job, and just kind of kept in contact loosely over the years and reconnected a few months ago. I mean, this guy, yeah, it's Cleaver. I'm sorry, it's Cleaver now.
Johnny's about to
Um,
get on your ass for mis saying
someone else in the community, ATVM91, he called Clever Cleaver for the longest time because he misread the name.
it.
So now it's Cleaver. But Clever's built me a subreddit. He's been helping a lot with
The
ideas,
rock
helping bounce
picture.
things off him.
The rock picture. I was in your stream for that. That had me cracking up
Yep.
as well.
Yep, he made that meme and he said, "I bet you a gifted sub you won't put as your profile picture on Twitch." And I said, "Okay, is that like only for Twitch, or do I get a gifted sub for doing it for all social media?"
I would be opening new social accounts I didn't even know I needed.
Yep. Now
Has
he limited it to just Twitch, but yeah, I mean, like I'm helping him learn OBS and learn how to stream. So like I'm taking the stuff that I've learned over the time and doing the same thing as you.
That's one of the best parts right there, is knowing that you can help others. And there's a long period of time where I was just like, look, bro, I'm gonna have to refer you to the professionals, because I can't help you. Other than if you need to know where the go live button is, that's about all I can do.
Sometimes it's hard to find that though.
Hey, look, sometimes you ain't got your glasses on, your ring light right in your face. These things happen.
Or if they move that dock off and get rid of it, Then you have to figure out where it went, and you have to find that dock again.
Like,
I had
oh,
to do that with Clever.
All right, so let me move into my next question. So this is a question I've asked everybody, and I've had pretty much the same answer on most of it. So I want to see if this one's going to be different. What is a step that you take to hype yourself up before you hit that go live button, or after you hit the go live button while you're starting shooting is on?
So I don't.
I think
That's
I'm the only one that just hypes myself up.
But here's the thing. Depending on how the conversation goes, because what I'm trying to do now is start with like just chatting. I'm not setting it for a certain amount of time. I'm kind of following in like West's footsteps. Because he started doing just chatting at the beginning of
Mm-hmm.
his streams. Last night, I got just super hyped for no reason. I don't even remember what it was, but I just got so hype. I couldn't stop talking. I sound like I was high on like coke. Uh and I mean I got an adrenaline dump after that, and that sucked. But uh no, I'll just get hype off of a conversation. So I don't go out of my way to do anything. Like there are a couple songs I can listen to, but headphones don't really do it justice because I like super loud bass. Told you to switch to Pepsi. Nah, I'm good, Johnny. Don't worry. Um, but so I like car audio, so I like really loud, obnoxious bass. And there are certain songs I listen to in the car on my way home before stream. They'll get me like somewhat mentally there, but it's not necessarily hype.
Okay. Well, I mean, again, I think I'm the only person that actually just listens to music and does stuff to hype myself up. Or at least so far, I am.
Actually, I
And
got one thing.
all right, all right.
Um, I used to yell this at the beginning of every stream, but thanks to me finally starting to utilize my Go XLR, I saved the soundbite. Hearing this sound, and we're back, gets me ready. That gets me like just right there.
I like it. So the way I start mine, I always go yo, like just a little yo. I really need to. I have plans for sound bites of some of the stuff I do. Also, um, I have been making small, slight changes to the stream. So like when I get a new follower, my new follower alert is different. My new sub one will be different probably tomorrow. No, tomorrow's my anniversary, so I won't be doing anything on computer related tomorrow.
Oh, happy
So,
anniversary.
thank you, I appreciate it. So yeah, one day this week I plan on changing the rest of my alerts, and I plan on making a couple of gifts of myself to add onto on here. Why did that sound? That's weird. I swear I had this done properly. What the hell?
Hey, it wouldn't be an interview without some kind of issue.
These things happen. We're gonna move past it. I apologize if the new follower alert did not go off. Guess follow. Yeah, I'll figure it out. Uh, I tried. I appreciate the trying. I don't know why that didn't work. I do apologize. These things happen. But all right, so let's move into the next question. Well, actually, no, I didn't. I didn't tell you my reason for hyping myself up. So I think I listen to my intro music is one of the things that hypes me up. I also do like a little half-ass mini workout before I like while the music is going, and I think that's one of those that it's from all my years of sports. So like I used to play football, and
Yeah.
the way I'd hype myself up would listen to music and work out before the games and stuff. So I think that's kind of where all my hyping myself up is, and plus being a fighter and stuff. That was another way I'd hype myself up is music that would help me get into the right mindset. So I think that's probably where me hyping myself up comes from. But I also do understand people when they say they don't hype themselves up because a lot of people do a backflip. I am not athletic enough to do a backflip. Plus, I'm 260 pounds, so that's a lot of weight to be moving around.
Can you do like a roll forward?
Yeah,
Just like a tuck and roll?
I could do it. I don't want to because that whole shelf might fall over if I do it.
Okay.
Then that's a lot of Funkos and what you call it. So I got. Yeah, I could definitely do a tuck and roll roll routine, folks. Maybe in the future, maybe.
I told
But
you, sell out. Hashtag sell out. Hashtag money grab. We're trying to get you to do everything.
is that gonna be my new sub thing? Instead of taking Bean Boozled, I gotta do a duck and roll.
No, you gotta do a being boozled while you're doing the tuck and roll.
Oh, that would suck.
It would.
I feel like that might be like a 5 sub goal, maybe.
Yeah, but
Five,
if you get
five,
a
five
good one,
gifted.
you get a good one after that roll, you're gonna do a nice little jump in celebration. If you don't, you're just gonna be like on the floor crying.
Why did y'all make me do this? All right, so let's move into the next question. I can totally see that's going to become a thing at some point. Someone
Yes,
like,
it
hey,
is.
why aren't you doing your tuck and roll shit?
Yep, exactly.
That's hilarious. All right, so next question. What do you find to be the hardest part about being a streamer? I've had
Clicking
some.
the go live button.
Really? That's the hardest
Yeah,
part?
it is.
I would elaborate.
Doing the actual hard work, doing the hard work of setting things up, making sure it works, running into the issues live on stream when the thing you set up for hours and hours doesn't work. That's just normal stress, that's like doing your job like an actual like 9 to 5 job, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the actual like going to it and clicking live for me is the hardest mentally, because once I'm live, I'm good. But if I'm having any kind of off day, I can't click that live button.
You got to call your wife.
She
Loophole.
should, but I'll
Loophole.
run and hide from the computer.
So I can I can see where you're coming from with that. Respectfully, I don't think that would be the hardest part. But again, everybody is different in that regards. Uh I do like how you said that you treat this like a job, like a 9 to 5. I tell everybody that I work around and like in my personal actual like, well, I don't want to say real job because this is like my real job as well. But my 9 to 5 job, my job, I wake up early in the mornings to go work at. I tell everybody I got a second job, and they're like, "What? Why do you got a second?" I'm like, "Y'all don't understand the amount of hours I put in at this." And they're like, "Oh, well, do you not see like money?" I was like, "Ah, sometimes." But like if I was to break down the amount of hours I put into one working on my stream stuff and two supporting people, because that is a big part of the job of being a Twitch content creator is supporting others, I'd probably get paid a penny an hour. And I don't get paid well, and I tell everybody it's not about the money right now. I love the money. Don't get me wrong. Anybody that comes and subs or donates or gives bits, I love y'all. I appreciate it, but it's not about that right now. It's about building the community up. It's about building relations with people, meeting new people. That's where I'm at in it. I set the sub goals and stuff, not for the money, but I do it so whatever money I do get from either hitting the sub goals or whatnot, I can hit those sub goals and now I can take that money and upgrade my content. I can put that money towards upgrading my PC or my mic or my camera. So like right now, I have all the money that I've gotten from Twitch, I have set to the side. Uh, and I have plans on a new mic. I'm looking at I think it's a Shure 7.
SM7B.
That's it. I have my
Yep.
eyes on it, and it's rather expensive, but I know the audio difference it'll make. It'll probably make
Are
me sound
you
more like a troll.
are you 100% sold on it? Are you still open to ideas?
Still open ideas. I just that's the one that I've heard the most about, and I've been working like doing more of my research into that one. So I am open to ideas of others. Just I like to look into things. That's just the one that I'm sold on at the current moment.
Um, I'll message you separately about this so you don't have to try and remember. But the mic I use, the Rode Procaster, excellent
Oh,
mic, lower power usage than or power needed from the amplifier than the Shure does. Very versatile, a lot less expensive. It's like almost half the price.
okay.
But
Yeah. I definitely look into it.
something to look into. Something to look into. I'll message you about it later.
Sweet. So the reason I actually was looking into the Shure mic was because I watched somebody using it, and they could have their kid right here yelling, and the only voice it'd pick up is that one person. That you wouldn't hear the kid at all. And I was just like, that would come in handy because there's a lot of times that my son comes in here and just he acts a fool. He's 1 year old, so it's gonna happen. But I was like, man, that would be pretty nice to like when I'm recording YouTube videos and stuff. I wouldn't have to stop or edit that out because I'm terrible at video editing. That is the next thing that I plan on working on, and yeah, that's the
I
main
feel that.
reason that the Shure is the one that I have my headset on at the moment.
That's fair. That's a good reason. That's a better reason than most people have.
Yeah. So I think personally the hardest part about Twitch, or the hardest part about being a streamer, um, you said it was hitting the go live button. I understand why you would say that. I think the hardest part is learning. There's a balance between things. You have to balance having a schedule and supporting people and learning new things to add and incorporate. I think personally that's the hardest part. Uh, Again, that could be a personal thing for me, but I think that is the hardest part because you can't just stream 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, and never support anybody and expect to grow. Now, some people maybe it's rare, but
Yeah.
if you streaming constantly, and you're never supporting any of the people that come and show you love and support, eventually that support does fall off.
Sure.
Not always, it's not always guaranteed, but I think that's the hardest part to figure out is the balance. That's where I'm going to go with it right now. I feel like my
I'll
answer
give
for
that
that
like a
changes
close
every
number two.
week. I feel like that answer for me changes every week because I do think of new things that I'm like, oh yeah, that's probably the hardest part. But I'm gonna say that's probably the hardest one for me right now is finding that appropriate balance.
That's like a very close number two. Like I could argue either one for me, to be honest.
All right, yeah. I mean, it's fair. All right, so what do you think is the easiest part about being a streamer? Let's flip that question around.
Oh, talking to people. Talking to people by far, like chat, engagement, not only while live in the community, though that's kind of hard for me because I fear social media and I fear looking like a dumbass. Um, but just actual engagement with people. I'm very introverted in personal life. My wife will say, "You're not introverted." I'm like, "Yes, I am." Once I know someone, I'm comfortable with them in real life. But you put me in front of a screen or you put me in my retail work, I can talk like no other. I can never stop talking. I'd be just fine. But get me out of work or get me off the camera and stream or away from people I don't know. Oh my God, I'll never talk again.
I am awesome. No, I'm actually. I tell a lot of people I'm actually very shy. Um, it's one of those after conversation is established. So like if me and you was to meet and we started talking anime, I could talk all day. Now we're new best friends, no shyness. But if you come up to me and start talking politics, I'm like, I'm gonna slowly walk the fuck away. And it's not because I just don't want to talk about it. It's because I don't have a relatable point when talking. Like, let's say politics. I don't talk politics, but I don't have a relatable point. I don't keep up with it. I don't care about it. So I can't continue this conversation going unless I'm going to be a troll. Now there are some people I get my moods where I have lack of sleep because I run on an average of 4.5 to 5 hours of sleep. Sometimes when that bar gets a little too low, I become a lot more trolly to people. So then I'll start talking crazy. But most of the time, I'm very, very shy, and a lot of people look at me and see the way I talk to people is it's targeted me. I have trolled him quite a few times. I remember back in his Whiskey Wednesday streams, we used to troll each other like crazy. But yeah, there's a lot of people that would look at me and be like, "Man, the way you talk and act on stream, I would never guess you was shy." I actually am very shy. But I'd say for me, the easiest thing to do now is to click the go live button. I think that's my easiest. That and in interacting with chat and the people in the Discord, I find that to be incredibly easy now. Um, it used to be hard for me. I don't really know why, and I couldn't give you a solid answer as to why. But Yeah, I think that's the easiest thing for me now. Rocky's playing with you, Johnny.
I'm just doing what I talked about.
All right, so yeah, I do think that's probably the easiest thing now. Um, the clicking the go live button, I don't know why. It's become easier to do, and I don't know when that actually happened. It's just one of those days I was just like, man, fuck it, it's no problem to hit this button no more. I used to get really anxious about it just because I'm like, I guess it was back when I was actually looking at my numbers. It would be one of those like, man, is today gonna be one of those days where I have more than one person in here? Is today gonna be a good day and just everybody just happens to be off and can come and support? Uh, I guess just when I quit looking at numbers and caring about that, that's when that kind of went away. I guess.
Good reason, at least.
Yeah. Right. Next question. How do you stay motivated, one, in your personal life, and two, as a streamer?
Setting goals. So after my diagnosis of ADHD and starting Adderall, I can not only multitask with a lot of things, not everything, um, but not only can I multitask, to remember to do something, I have to essentially like categorize it in my brain that it's important. Because if I don't think it's important, then I will always forget. So when I set goals, like with stream, I have the sticky notes uh, app open, and I have certain things I do, and I'll delete them as I finish them.
Keep that
Um,
right here. I've actually got two of them.
yeah, it's a great way of doing it, whether it's digital notes, physical notes, whatever you do. Um, I don't really do that necessarily for personal life, but I do without writing it down. I do the same kind of thing. If I don't think it's important, it won't get done. So I always have to tell my wife, I'm like, if you need this done, make sure you remind me that it's important, or just make sure you remind me in general.
Mm-hmm. So Clever said something right here. I'd like to address. Now, I'd like your opinion on it. He said not looking at the numbers seems to be tough on its own. Do you find that it's hard for you not to pay attention to your numbers?
When I'm live, it's extremely easy. After the fact, I don't let the numbers affect me, but I'm always curious what it is.
Okay.
Because, like, for me, I could go look at the numbers, and I do it every stream. I'll go look at the numbers and be like, hey, at 10:15, that was my peak for numbers. Cool. I don't care what the low was, it doesn't matter, but I don't let it influence me. I'm just like, "Hey, this was a good stream, this was a bad stream." Whatever. Then I'll, if I want feedback, I'll reach out and get feedback.
Very understandable. So Clever, when I was streaming from Streamlabs, I found it incredibly difficult to not look at my number. I will admit that. Sorry. But yeah, when I was on Streamlabs, it was incredibly different or difficult for me to look at my number or not look at my number, and you could physically see how that would affect me during my streams. So I don't know if you know Rara, she used to tell me all the time, like she would message me during my stream, like, I know you just looked at your numbers. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And she was like, I could see how you're acting. And she would see like you everybody who's looked at the numbers know you act different. Like if you look at your numbers, oh, I got 9 people in here, yeah, let's go. And then you look at your number like 2 or 3 minutes later and it's two. That is going to it's gonna be a mind fuck because in your head you're like, what did I do to make all these people leave? So it's one of those. It's easy and hard. Once you stop looking at it, you stop caring, and it does help. It's a lot better. I tell everybody I suggest 100% you turn your numbers off. I think it is incredibly important that you don't care about your numbers, care about your content, care about you being happy and you having a good stream. I think that is the more important and more task filling job. I think I probably said that. I think that is the more important thing. That don't care about numbers, care about your content, care about your own happiness, because like you see a lot of people that aren't happy streaming while they're streaming, and a lot of people will tell you that you can't tell that. Yes, you can. You see some people that just they jump on the trends. They play the latest game that just came out that everybody's streaming, and you can see it physically in their face. They're not happy playing this game. And it's like, if a random person can see it, what if you're missing out on a potential 20, 30 people coming to hang out with you when you're playing a game that you actually like? That's just my opinion.
Yeah, when you were using Streamlabs, you couldn't hide the number, right? For your
You
concurrent for your live viewers?
you could. I just
You
didn't.
could? Okay.
I just for some reason I wouldn't do it. Well, I
I
would
talked to Raw about it and she said you couldn't when she was.
when I was using it I could. But at the same time I would hide it, and then like it would go 20, 30, 40 minutes without seeing anybody chatting. I'm like, well, let me see who's in here. And that did affect me for a while. But I moved to OBS, and there's no way for me to put my actual viewer count on OBS. So I can't see it. So I do
There
not.
is,
Well,
but I won't tell you how.
I don't want to know. So it's one of those I can't actually put it on my OBS screen because I only use my OBS screen. This is how I have my chat and everything. I see it directly on OBS. I don't have any other screen pulled up that can have my numbers on it. The only time that I could possibly do is if I need to like turn off channel points or something, and I go to my creator dashboard. That's the only time I could have it. Other than that, I never do.
But even then, there it should be toggled off.
It should. It certainly should. Not.
Certainly should do that.
I was gonna say, Johnny said something about that. I think it was either last week or the week before last. He's like, you can turn it off. Or I'm like, shut up. I know you can turn it off. Maybe I don't want to. But I mean, I legit almost never have a reason to go to that page. So it's one of those. It's just one of those. If I do have to go there, I fuck it. I'm gonna look and see it. But I also don't let that affect me anymore. I guess because I'm so used to not letting the numbers affect me, it just doesn't affect me. Or at least I don't even. All right, so let's move on. Next question, Mr. Rocky. What do you think is your greatest achievement thus far when it comes to content creating?
Ooh. So that one I've had some issues coming up with a good answer. I mean, obviously hitting affiliates, growing the community that I do have, no matter how big or small it is. But I think my greatest achievement is the friendships that I've made.
That's a good one. I like
I mean,
the answer.
you, Johnny, Ciniax, um, I mean, just to name like the three like big names that come to mind, Cyro, another big person that's a huge influence on me.
All right, I like that. So I've told this story a couple times, and I keep telling everybody I'll tell it every week until something ends up topping it. There's a member of the community. I work with him at my job, and he let me know that he was a Twitch streamer. So when I first started off trying to hit affiliate and everything, that struggle to hit the 50 followers and the 3.0 average, that was the killer. So sorry, my son just came running out the door with the biggest smile on his face. But
That's dangerous.
that was the I would send my link to everybody. Every time I went live, I'd send it to my whole damn near my whole Facebook friend list. And he was one of the ones that followed me, and he was my birthday stream. No, my 1 year on Twitch stream. He watched it, and he told me the next day. He said, the amount of love and passion you have for this, I can really see that, and it inspired him to start streaming. He gave up. He told me, he's like, I quit streaming. I gave up on it. He was one of those that I guess he just never got a good community around him, some friends that would support him, and he gave up on streaming. He gave up on his dream, and he said, "You inspired me to come back and go for my dream again." And I'll be honest with you, I tell everybody this, and I don't care. You can look at me as a bitch all you want. I damn near cried right there in the middle of the floor at work, almost. Chat, if we are experiencing some internet connection, write it out for half a second. I don't know what's going on. It did this other day and it fixed itself in half a second. So any buffering, just write it out for half a second. but yeah, like I don't have another way of saying that other than yeah, that was the thing that made me like I feel like I'm doing something right.
Yep.
Because I tell everybody there's a lot of self doubt that comes with doing Twitch, like a ton, and a lot of people don't really understand that. And it's just one of those. I self doubt myself every time I hit the go live. I'm always like, maybe I posted a clip that everybody hates me now, or it's just those are some of the thoughts that go
Yep.
through your head. It's like I posted a clip earlier, I didn't see any likes on it or anything. Maybe everybody hates me now. They're not going to come and hang out. It's always just those little things like that makes it harder. But to have somebody compliment you on what you're doing, it's like I have a friend that's in the community, Seahawk. I don't know if you've met him. He's from Europe and his time zones are very weird. But there's times like he'll come in and watch these streams while he's at work because he works nights at where he works at, and he sends me a message after each one. He's like, "Man, you're killing it. These are phenomenal. I love them." And it's just that little bit of spark that it brings that to me. It's just like, bro, thank you. Like, because I never honestly like people tell me like you're doing good, but I never really know how good I'm doing because I'm I'm one of those that's really big on self doubt. Yeah, it's just that little bit of somebody kicking you in the ass saying you're doing the right thing that makes the world of a difference.
Don't
So
worry, I know what clip you're talking about. People aren't showing up because it's me that's in the clip, not because of you.
what? Oh, oh,
Don't worry.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's our promo. I'm sorry.
Yep.
My brain is. I've told you, my brain's on a different level tonight.
Oh, don't worry. My jokes, I try and hit back on things that don't happen. Like, everyone's like, "Oh, you want a good clapback?" It's like, no, no, no. I want a slow burn that you have to think about that happened like 20, 30 minutes ago.
Those are the worst ones. The ones when the arguments are done and the jokes done. You're like, that
Yep.
son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those. I'm trying to think of some good ones in my head now because I love those. But all right, so let's move on to the next question. How do you promote yourself and your content?
So I'm gonna follow the wise words of Mr. West. I don't. I let other people's like auto notifications do it for me. It is something I'm trying to work on doing and promoting on not only Discord. I'm gonna start working on using other social media platforms, but like I mentioned earlier, the social media platforms kind of scare me because I don't want to look like that dumbass or that just random dude that's just promoting himself and that I don't want to be that guy. So it scares me. But right now I'm not doing enough, and I recognize that, and I'm working on it.
I'm that guy. I'm that dude that promotes myself way too much, and I enjoy it. I don't mind looking like a dumbass. Whoa, hold up, pause.
Oh snap!
We have a
Yeah,
raid. All right, so give me 2 seconds.
you're good. No, you're good.
Why is my streamer bot not working? I'm so confused. Things are not working and they're working. Oh, wow. Whatever. Welcome in, Raiders. How y'all doing? I'm the Riddler 1370. I'm Twitch's favorite Viking in the making. Not quite number one yet, but one day I'll be there. Rah rah. Welcome back. I'm glad to see you back. Welcome in. Johnny, thank you for that shout out. Appreciate you. Rah rah. Thank you for that raid. Raiders, how are y'all doing? Uh, I'm flabbergasted right now. I'm speechless. I'm sorry. But rah, how was your stream? How was the comeback stream? I was in there hanging out. I had you pulled up lurking. I'm in my own stream now. But yeah, how are you doing? Welcome in, welcome in. Glad to have you. You want to say hi to the Raiders? Hi. Come say hi to everybody. It was great. Surprised. Yeah, say hi. Say hey. You're supposed to say hey, Raiders. What you
Wave at him.
say hi?
Hi.
There we go.
There it is.
Well,
Tell
welcome
them where
in,
the ducks
everybody.
are.
What?
Tell them where ducks are.
What are ducks? What are cows?
Yeah.
Cow. Happy Monday, little man. But yeah, rah. So Raiders. Now he wants to say hey. Raiders, tonight we are doing something special. We're doing what I.
So Daddy, not night.
Nah. You. Night.
Tell him bye.
Nah. Please refresh your tabs. Oh, you're talking
For the
to-
people that rated in.
But yes, so on Mondays, what I do is I bring another content creator / streamer over to my stream and I do an interview with them just so I can get to know them a little bit better as a person and as a streamer, and to let everybody else who wants to potentially love and support this man, let them do that as well. Can I give a shout out for Rocky in the stream? I don't think I've given him a shout out. Shit. But yeah, so it's one of those, just to give everybody else the ideas of how his brain works when it comes to streaming, what he thinks about with everything, you know. But rah, thank you for that raid. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for everybody. Don't drink root beer. Makes you burp a lot. But thank you for bringing that raid in, guys. We are going to get back to this interview. Y'all want to stick around, hang out, get to know Mr. Rocky, and if y'all would be so kind, please check his channel out. Drop him a follow. Show him some love. He's a really amazing dude.
Really appreciate anyone that does. We just broke 100 followers.
Hey, triple digits.
Saturday, triple digits. So we finally did it. Anyone that comes in, we're gonna be making some plans here for a celebration for that 100.
Nice. I look forward to learning about that. All right, so I asked you about promote. You said that.
Yep.
You said you don't really promote yourself. Is there a certain reason or specific reason that you don't?
It's just that fear of social media.
All right. Do you
It's
think
really that.
Do you think that you'll be able to easily overcome that fear?
Easily no, but will I? Yes.
Okay. So as far as it goes with promoting, I promote myself. Everything. The only thing I don't promote myself on is Facebook, and that's because in my earlier times of Twitch, like I said earlier, I would send my link to everybody on Facebook, just hoping that somebody would come and give me a view. And it was one of those that there was literally absolutely no growth. I joined a couple of the Facebook Twitch groups, and nothing there. It was just one of those. I felt like it was more of a waste of my time going in and sharing my link because you never saw anything from it. So it was just one of those. I was like, so. I've gotten more confident when it comes to promoting myself on Twitch, Hover, Instagram, and I'm moving more into doing YouTube Shorts as well. And I am trying to move more content onto YouTube, like exclusive content to YouTube. I have plans to start recording stuff. Hopefully, I'll be able to start doing that tomorrow and start posting either sometime this week or starting next week. See how
So you gotta
schedules
take
work.
tomorrow off. You gotta take tomorrow off. It's
Well, I mean,
anniversary.
I gotta work, and what I've been doing. So normally I go to bed about 11:30, 12 o'clock ish. Most of the time I go to work at 3 and work 3 to 3. Those are my 12-hour days. I work 3 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. So the nights that I haven't been going in at 3 because I haven't really been forced to work them. It's one of those like, hey, we would love for you to come in, but you don't necessarily have to. What I've been doing is recently I've been getting up at 4:30, 4:45 ish, like waking up, and then I'll come in here and I'll start working on overlays and stuff. So like that's what the one we're on right now, the interview scene. That was one of those days I woke up at 4 o'clock and I was just like, I got work to do. I'm gonna go in here and work on this, and it's kind of how this happened. And then we got the other stuff that I've been working on. So I'm trying to set it up to where I'll come in here and record at least a 15 to 20 minute video, post it before I go to work, and then I'm trying to do it that way. But again, I don't want to burn myself out. I feel like if I do that every single day, I'm gonna burn myself out again.
Yep.
And I don't want to take a break. Like I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I just want to do a little bit more without burning out. So that is part of me promoting myself. I also do you promote yourself during your streams? Like, do you do self plugins for yourself?
I'm starting to, hashtag sellout, hashtag money grab. We're gonna start doing that, but not really. Like I'll maybe once a month in a stream, be like, oh, hey, check out my social medias.
I try to make it a point at least once to twice every stream to pause whatever I'm doing, go to my just chatting stream. I try to uh I talk about my Discord, which I'm posting right there, and
Yep.
then I post my link tree, and then I make it a point to do a self plug in because I think it's important for you to sell yourself. If you can sell yourself to yourself, then you have the chance of selling yourself to at least one other person.
I think my issue with it is the fact that I don't use the social medias and I don't post in them, so I don't want to necessarily promote those. And once I start using them more or at all, then I'll actually start doing it. But I think that's the only thing that's holding me back from promoting other platforms.
Okay, well that is a very understandable reason. All right, so moving on to the next. How important is organization to you as a content creator?
So much so now that I have Adderall in my life. Before I would try, but I could never do it. But now that I can actually focus on things, it's super important. Like I said, those sticky notes that I use, I have to have it. I have to use it on my days that I'm gonna just be working on things, or else I'll just feel like I haven't done anything, even though I have. But when I have that sticky note and I know I'm getting rid of stuff or crossing stuff off if I'm writing down on paper, just having that lets me just keep going, because if I don't have it, I don't know what's going on in my life.
Solid. Uh, I'm gonna ask a question really quickly. If it's too personal, please just move it on.
Go for it.
How often do you think your ADHD affects you in your streaming life? Like, does it affect you more often than not?
It affects 100% of my life, on camera, off camera.
Okay.
Um, I will say, just a blanket, not just for you, but anyone in chat. Um, my DMs are always open if you do need anyone to ever talk to, especially when it comes to mental health. We all have our own struggles and everything, so I may not be able to discuss in detail certain things at times or be able to process what you're saying. And I'll do my best to explain that. But if you do think you're struggling with a mental illness, whether it's ADHD, depression, anxiety, like anything, please reach out. Not to ultimately a professional, but if that seems daunting, reach out to your friends, reach out to someone in the community that you trust. I'm sure Riddler's open to it. Reach out to him,
Mhm.
reach out to Johnny, reach out to myself, please. Um, because there is help. There are ways to improve your life. And Adderall helps me, but drugs may not be the right thing for you, or you might struggle with finding the right drug that works for you.
Mhm.
But just being able to go out there and talking to someone, that's huge.
I agree. And like you said, my DMs are always open. I've had few people in the past actually reach out, and I've been able to help them. Uh, I've told this story on stream. I think I've only told it once, maybe twice. I actually did have somebody reach out who was thinking about committing suicide, and they reached out to me, and I spent 3 or 4 hours on the phone while I was at work, talking them down, talking to them, having literally just having a conversation, trying to explain why it's better to live and work through what's going on. And I agree. If anybody ever has any issue, as far as it goes with mental health, I am not a professional. I will talk with you. I will listen to you in any kind of way. I will let you vent, and I will give you my personal advice. And I always end my personal advice with, "This is my advice. This is just me. This is how I look at things." I understand that our brains are different, but maybe the way I look at things might help put something into a perspective. But yes, my DMs are always open. Uh, if if I don't answer immediately, like if you message me in the middle of the night, please just give me like an hour, maybe two, and I promise I will respond. And once I do, you'll have my full attention. So, like you said, DMs are always open if you ever need anybody to talk to about anything. Right there. And as far as organization goes, I'm like a solid 6 out of 10 on organization. My PC is a mess. Like file wise, PC's trashed. All right, yeah, you can damn near throw the whole thing out and restart. He just fun. What a nice guy. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. But as far as my personal life, I am very organized. My wife is more of an organized chaos person, and that annoys the piss out of me. See, like some organized chaos is fine, but like there's hers is the idea of like I don't know how to explain it properly, but like she'll do some things. I'm like, why the fuck are you doing that? She'll be like, I know everything is. How? It's crazy. But yeah, personal life, I try to be as organized as possible. I'm not OCD about stuff, but it's just one of those like if I can make things easier on me, I'm gonna make them easier. So one of those. All right, so let's move to the next question. We're moving on. We're getting into the nitty gritty ones. That's always She's talking about my son. Just as a heads up.
Okay, I was trying to figure out how that would correlate with you.
No, she's talking about my son. All right. So in this past year, what is some kind of knowledge that you've used to improve yourself?
I mean, the easiest answer is ADHD. That's the easy answer. The hard answer would probably be just learning to communicate. Um, because a lot of times I would just not reply to people, even if it's something simple or just like not even a collab, just someone just being like, "Hey, how's it going? You want to talk about this?" I'll just be like, "Bye. I'll forget about you later."
Fuck this
Um,
shit, I'm out.
exactly. But just communication, because if I can't communicate in my personal life or I can't communicate here, how am I going to grow as a person or grow as a streamer?
Okay, that's respectable. Um, I think the knowledge I've used the most to improve myself is I've been doing a thing with my own brain where I talk to myself like I'm not me. Like I try to hype myself up. I try to convince myself into things. It's a form of hypnotherapy, I think is what it's called. Is like I've been doing this with Mondays. So if you're a member of the community, you see I always have a really inspirational Monday message where I'm always just like Monday is the day, it's the best day of the week. You know, a lot of people disagree with this. And I want y'all to know I've been doing this for about 2 months now. I wake up every Monday with so much energy and I'm so excited about the day until I get to work. That's different. I wake up and I'm actually awake. I'm happy to be awake. I feel really good, and I suggest trying this because a lot of people. I don't remember who told me this. I think I heard it on Instagram or somewhere. If you set that Monday is the best day of the week, then the rest of your week will follow suit. A lot of people say that Mondays are the worst day of the week, and then you have a shit week for the rest of the week because everybody's all down and dumped about the first day of the week. Make Monday the best, and everything else is going to follow through. So, like, Monday is the absolute best. You can't go, you're not going down. You're just going to keep on riding up. I've been doing that personally for about a month, almost 2 months now, maybe longer, and I've noticed a significant change in my head. And I think that's one of the things of knowledge that I've used to help. And I also do that about believing in myself. It's one of those I believe in myself, and a lot of people don't. I self doubt is a big thing, and I've talked about it tonight. I do self doubt myself, but I also self hype myself up. I believe in myself so much to everybody, and it's to everybody. I believe in myself so much, like I want to hype myself up to be what I am in my head. So that's one of the things of knowledge I could best use, or say I could use.
I just want to address this. Does your wife know where something is like every single time you ask the question? Okay.
I'll be like, "Where is this at?" She's like, "Oh, it's over there by the thing." What thing? The thing that tells me nothing. There's a bunch of things over here. She does find them a lot quicker than me. I'll admit,
Okay.
but still, it's the fact that there'd be a pile of shit and I'm like, "Where's that?" It's there. No, I'm not looking through all this. Sorry, it's not
Yep.
happening. Hey, you find it, and then she gets frustrated at me. I'm like, look, I couldn't fucking see it. All right, I'm sorry. I got 4 eyes and I'm still stupid. Can't help it.
That's a good one.
All right, so let's move on into this question. This is more of a fun question in my personal opinion. Do you prefer to work independently when you stream, like it's just you on camera, just you talking to the chat, or do you think that you thrive more in a team environment, like
Uh,
collaborations and whatnot?
yes. So to elaborate, it depends on the people.
Okay.
So I, because of my like introvertedness, I can get talked over very easily, and I'll just let it happen because I don't feel like my opinion matters as much as other people if they think that talking over me is the better thing to do. And
Same.
I don't let it like negatively affect me. I'm not like they think they're better than me, but that's just kind of like the basic perception. Is just like obviously they think that what they're saying is more important, and I'll just kind of stay quiet until I get my next word in. But depending on who I'm like collabing with, it can be amazing. I can put on the best content. I think I work best with one or two people because it helps give me the ideas to say some dumb shit that I can get away with.
I agree with you on the one of the main reasons that I don't really ask for collabs is because I'm kind of the same way. I'll let people talk over me, and I just kind of let it go. And that's one of the big reasons I don't like doing collabs is because of that. But I've started very, very recently breaking out of that shell. Um, I do still find that some days I prefer streaming and it's just me. Like there's some things I do and I'm just like, that's me. I want that content to be just me. And then like so recently I've been doing a Soul Link Nuzlocke with Mr. Kainsey West. And this is a collaboration. Not that I've wanted to do specifically with him, but that I've wanted to do for about 5 or 6 years. So even before I even considered being a streamer, I wanted to do something like this. And I took a lot of inspiration from people off of YouTube who I watched do this. I'm like, man, that looks like a lot of fun. Like the randomized Nuzlocks that you see on there. I don't know if you watch any Pokemon content, but
Not
like
much, but
I watch people do that. I'm like, man, that looks like so much fun because like I'll be watching. I'm a huge Pokemon nerd, and like I enjoy the games, but I know for a fact the games can be harder, and it's more enjoyable watching people make those games harder. So it's one of those like I've been wanting to do stuff like that, and I found that these have been more interesting, and I'm actually enjoying doing the collaborations now. But I see it both ways. I like doing them, but I also like being by myself.
one collaboration I do, one of my really, I mean, I would say my closest friend, Wrath of Honor. Him and I do this collab when he's available. Right now, work has been picking up for him and personal life, but we do a thing called Wrath versus Rocky. We started off doing it with like Need for Speed. We set a time for like an hour or two, start the game fresh on each system, and build up the best car we can and race, see who did the best job, or play Madden or play something and just challenge each other. Hugh and Wrath fucking dynamic duo. It's amazing. It's great content. And he's never beaten me, and we've done like 15 episodes. So
One
um
hell of a win streak right there.
oh yeah. He's beaten me off camera, but he can never beat me on camera.
See, so me and Kainsey, we're about that way. So like we play a lot of Pokemon Showdown as well as Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, Sword and Shield. On Sword and Shield, he has my number. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. His team is so incredibly broken on there. Which, fun fact, Kainsey, I know you're just sleeping right now, but fuck you, I beat you yesterday. Hold that L. Sorry, I had to say that. I beat him yesterday on Sword and Shield, and I was just like, "Yep, I'll take it." But
Was that on camera?
no, we was off stream.
Start recording it. Even if it's not live, just record it. That way when it happens, you have fucking proof.
Oh, I got a picture of it. I took a picture of the
Okay.
victory screen. But like
Okay.
we do that and then like we'll randomly message each other like today we played Showdown before while we was waiting on Wolf so we could work on our stream stuff. And we were sitting there playing Showdown and I think it's 3-2 on my end right now. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
I'm up one on him right now for the week. And at the end of the week, we always talk shit to each other. Oh, we talk shit to each other throughout the week entirely. But at the end of the week on Sunday, hey, by the way, I whooped your ass this week, just so you know. So like last week we played one day and I beat him 6-0. The every game we played that day I beat him. And he's just like, man, fuck. Yeah, you didn't get so lucky this week, huh? He's gonna see these and just be like, man, we're gonna get into it tomorrow. Don't worry. I'm gonna send him these clips.
One question before we move on, because you brought up what you and Kainsey do with like the Nuzlocke series you have. Have you thought about or are you planning on doing a rental randomizer in Stadium?
We would have to figure out how to do that.
Okay.
But if you have knowledge of how to do that, 100%.
I can look into it.
Sweet.
I don't, but I can look into it for you.
Sweet. But yeah, we have. I'm gonna do some breaking news here. Me and Kenzie actually do have YouTube content coming. Me and him are going to be doing challenges on Pokemon games where we're gonna spin a wheel and whatever that wheel tells us to do, we're gonna set up some stuff beforehand. So like we're gonna go on to Sword and Shield on our main accounts and we're gonna give each other 30 minutes. We're gonna do whatever the wheel tells us to do, and then we're gonna battle winner gets break rights. So
Okay, I like it.
that's something we have planned. We haven't set an exact time to record. Fun fact, you know how I told you I beat him 6 times in a row the other day? That was
Yep.
part of our agreement. I told him that I was going to start getting up at 4:30 in the morning so we could record. He's like, "That's way too early in the morning for you. You need to sleep." I'm like, "Fuck you! If I beat you, then we're doing it. If not, then we'll figure it out." And he's like, "Okay, cool." And then I beat him back to back to back, and I was just like, "Well, looks like we're recording now, huh?" We haven't actually set a date to start doing that yet. Time zones being an issue is a thing.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those. We're trying to work it out to where it works for both of us. It is rather hard. But yeah, I can see that dynamic duo being a good thing. Having a good solid
Okay.
person that will come in and you can always play off of, whether it's either jokes or just talking shit back and forth, is amazing to have.
Okay. Open challenge. Obviously, you gotta figure your stuff out with Kainsey, but Wrath and Rocky versus Riddler and Kainsey, let's do it.
I like it. Let's make it happen, Captain. It's now. What are we going to be playing in? Because if it's racing, I lose. Kainsey will win because Kainsey actually plays a lot of racing games. I suck at it, but I'll give it a try. Now, if it's Pokemon and y'all want to go, y'all want a 2v2, we can make that happen too.
We're gonna have to find a neutral game type.
Neutral. Well, I'm pretty decent at it. All right.
Well, okay, but I mean, like Pokemon, you clearly have an advantage.
I
The
want
both
you.
of you have a huge advantage.
Kainsey definitely has an advantage. Me, not so much. Because I want you to know, me and him was battling today, and I was like, is this typing super effective or is it immune to it? And I was like, I clicked on it. It was immune. I was like, well, I don't know. I already forgot what it was. Not gonna lie to you. Wrath and Rocky.
We can make a series out of it.
We can definitely set something up. I like it. Rocket League. Fuck Rocket.
I'll tell you this, Riddler. The last Pokemon game that I played was Emerald.
That's a good one. What?
It's
okay.
amazing.
Hear me out on this. All right. Let's try this. Kainsey is currently playing through Emerald on his stream. Not at the current moment, obviously, but he's playing through it. What if we all get together and do a speed run of Pokemon? First team, say team, because it's both of us, to beat the Elite Four. Claims victory. We could do Emerald. We could go back to a game like that. That way, it's that's somewhat neutral ground because you kind of know the game.
I won't say no. I won't back down from a challenge. I just don't know Wrath's knowledge with Pokemon, let alone a specific one.
We could talk. We can work the details out.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the challenge
I
has been
won't back
thrown.
down. I'll say that.
The challenge has been thrown. I like it. We can definitely work something out with that. I like doing collaborations like that. That was one of the reasons I wanted to start moving stuff like that onto YouTube as well. It's just because it's more content. It's gonna be fun. So yeah, we can definitely work something out off stream with that. So that's a good one. I like that. Team versus team. All right. So let me move on to the next question. How do you deal with people in chat that you feel are being too much, like repeatedly spamming messages or trying to repeatedly spam your sound alerts? I know your sound alerts are really cheap, but
They are.
what I mean by that is if somebody came in, so like my hosted button is 1 point. So I had somebody come in brand new. I think when you're brand new, you get 300 points. They literally
Yep.
spent 300 points on doing the I'm hosted. So I had to sit here.
Jesus.
I had to sit here for the longest, listen to Captain, you're being hosted. Captain, you're being hosted. And I was just like, I could have set this to 1-1, and I did after that stream. But how do you feel, or how do you deal with that? Do you call them out directly, or do you like try to send them a message or a whisper?
So it depends on exactly what they're doing and if I can address it directly on stream. Um, if it's something really bad, I mean, like time out for an extended period of time because I don't want to do like a one and done ban unless it's like racial slurs or
Mm-hmm.
something, you know, obvious hate towards another person. Then it's like, no, one and done, you're gone. And I'll get you banned everywhere I can. Uh, because I'm spiteful. But if it's something I can address, I will try to talk on stream. If it's something I feel like would be better addressed off stream or on a more personal note, then I will take it off stream.
Okay.
But
Me.
I will say before you hop in,
Okay.
Johnny, and I'm sure you've seen it at some point. Johnny gets bullied by me and Cyro specifically with spamming the yell that he has with that like Asian cowboy yell.
Yeah.
We one day I think we played it between the two of us and like there's like 2 or 3 other people. I think Kainsey was in on it too. We played it probably like 40 times on top of all of his other sound alerts. We spammed it for a solid like 30 minutes.
I'm not mad at that. That's actually pretty funny. But that's part of the reason the sound alert. And
Yep.
if they don't have cooldowns, it's your own fault.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
I've learned that the hard way as well. And I believe that was Kainsey. Kainsey is a huge troll to
Yeah.
everybody in the community.
He was definitely part of it.
But I kind of I want to agree with you on the fact that depending on the matter, whether I'm going to be more personal with it or if I'm going to call you out on stream. So like the day I had somebody spamming the Captain you're being hosted one. I called him out on stream right then. I was like, look, bro, I don't know what the fuck you got going on, but you didn't have to click that 300 times. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, no, you're not, because you clicked it 300 fucking times. It's like, I'm not trying to be a dickhead about it, but now I have to sit here for an extended period of time and let all of these notifications go before I can continue my stream or continue talking. So it's one of those, is like, yeah, whatever. But as far as like racial slurs and stuff go, that would be a permanent ban instantly.
Oh yeah.
I have not ran into that uh, yet. Maybe, hopefully, I never do. Recently, this past Saturday, I had to ban somebody. Actually, I didn't.
Ooh.
Kenzie did. I don't remember his name. He was like
What were they
Boss.
banned for?
I think his name was like Boss Ben or Ben Boss or something. He came in and the first thing he said was something about I slept with your mother. It was some variation of that. And I was just like, he was his first time chatter as well. He had just followed, and I was like, I timed him out. I was like, look, bro, if I know you on a personal life, and I don't know your Twitch name, fine, that's cool. Message me personally and tell me who you are. If I don't know you, then clearly, you're timed out. I was like, now when your timeout is over, you can come back and apologize. That's fine. So I let the timeout proceed. He came back and he's like, "Hey man, I'm sorry." I was like, "All right, cool, no biggie." And then I asked him again. I said, "Why did you do that?" Just trying to make conversation with a new person, trying to figure out what's going on. He's like, "Oh, it's just funny," and I was just like, "It's funny when you have an opportunity to say like your mom or that's what she said, but when there's no period to be able to put the joke in there, it's not funny." And that's exactly what I told him. And then he said something else. I don't remember exactly what he said. It was another variation of a mother joke, and Kenzie timed him out. And I was like, "All right, we're just gonna let that out." Shadows, thank you for the alert. And I was like, "All right, well, we'll let that one time out, and let it ride out and see what happens." And he came back, and the first thing he said after the timeout was out, he said something about "I fucked your mom," and Kenzie was like, "You know what? Fuck you," and he banned him. Like I was working on banning him. This is how fast it was for him to get banned. I pulled it up and I hit ban. As I hit ban, Kainsey hit ban. So he banned him and I unbanned him, and then I had to ban him again. So it's one of those. It's one of those like I don't like banning people just because maybe you're just having a bad day, and it's one of those things. But at the same time, I want to protect the people that are in my streams and that come and support me from potential predators like that. I know some people won't consider that a predatory thing, but it actually is. And it could cause people that are really good supporters and really good friends of mine to never want to come back. So like they're letting this guy just sit in here and say all these things, and what if they're directing it towards me? So I try to make my stream and my stuff as safe of a place for everybody, just for that exact reason.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of that, the reason I asked what he was banned for is, if there's anyone that you ban that you feel like did something like extremely bad, obviously you don't have to say it on stream, but please reach out. I will ban him in my stream. I will ban him in any stream that I am, or they, or whoever. I will ban them in every stream that I that I'm mod in within reason. Um, and I extend the offer to you. If I have anyone that is extremely bad and I feel like should be banned basically everywhere, I will reach out if you're okay with that.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Just I try not to have any toxicity in my community.
Yep.
So definitely, if that's the case,
And the offers for anyone here that I know in chat. I know Johnny's lurking, Rara's around. Any of
Leanne,
you
thank you for
guys,
the
if anything
biddies.
happened.
Thank you for the biddies. Yes, Leanne, my beard is blue. So one of my sub goals was hit last week. We hit 20 subs. Every time we hit 20 subs, you get to pick what color my beard is. So to be able to actually hit that, so like right now we're sitting at 30. Hypothetically, not telling you to do this. If you was to donate 10 subs right now, you would get to pick what color my beard is next week. So I do it for the whole week. So just as a heads up, every 20 subs, it doesn't stop. Hey yo, Lucky Bards, welcome in. How you doing, man? All right, so next question. Well, actually, I'll let you.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Everyone that has Amazon Prime, please use your Twitch Prime right now. Get this man to the 40 so we can get another color going next week. Please, please, please.
So this is the fourth color that I've done. I've done purple 2 different times.
Oh shit, Casey's here.
Kingsley, we were just talking about your little ugly ass. But yeah, so we've done Leanne, I got you the hydrate in just 1 second. I've done purple twice. There's one.
There's one. There's my wife.
So, chat, the way we do things here. Thank you for the shout out, by the way, Rara. So, 1 sub equals a Bean Boozled bean. 2 subs equals a shot. So, with the 1 sub right there, also the subs have to come from the same person. Just as heads up. This one is dirty dishwater or birthday cake.
Oh, I so hope it's birthday cake.
You and Nerve both did this, and I'm calling bullshit on both of them. You're supposed to keep questions to the end, but do you want me to make that pick? You sent me an emote. Which one did I send? Sure. I don't remember what I sent you. It's also Thor flavored. All right, so
just like the last one I saw.
So cheers. Thank you for that follow. Welcome to the horde. Welcome in. Welcome in. And cheers. Fucking drink.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So full of shit.
I mean, it's for the content, right?
Yeah, I suppose. Bro, they just like they get harder and harder to actually fucking.
Yep.
Ugh. Can't do me like that. What the hell are you talking about, Kainsey?
But you can't do it like him.
Kainsey throws up when he gets dirty dishwater while he's over there bullshitting. Got 3 good ones. Yeah, Kainsey's lucky ass. He had to eat, what was it, 15 beans Saturday, and he got like 3 or 4 good ones back to back.
That's some bullshit.
That's exactly what I said. It's a very bad gag reflex. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the
So
joke
do
on.
I.
I'm gonna leave.
That's why I don't do Bean Boozled, even though I'm considering it. That's the reason why I don't.
So I do the Bean Boozle just because it's something to give back. Like that's the whole reason. Like I do my giveaways and I do the dyed beard and stuff. It's a way to give back to the community. That's why I do it. Just because it's funny when I do get a terrible bean because y'all get a good laugh out of it. I also have these that I let people take if I can't find my beans. The toxic waste. Those don't affect me as bad. I was gonna make a joke. The toxic waste don't affect me as bad because I actually prefer sour stuff. Oh,
Please
nice.
tell me.
I know what that is.
Have you ever had malic acid?
No, I have not.
So it is citric acid is one thing that makes things sour.
Yeah.
Malic acid is like the other thing that makes things sour. And it actually caused this emo. And if I were able to pull up a good picture of it, like the blown up one, you can actually see it on my tongue.
Johnny said that malic acid is ass.
Oh, dude, it tastes terrible. It's so sour. It's just powder.
See, I love sour. So like I got a I don't remember what candy it was recently. It was it's like a taffy that had a sour powder that comes with it. So like I was like, oh, I'm gonna eat that. The powder was actually really, really sour. So what I did is I took that and the other candies that I had some like gummy bears or something. I just dumped the powder in there and shook the bag. Phenomenal idea. I need more sour candies to be actually sour. I get
Just
really
buy some malic
disappointed.
acid.
I'd be really disappointed when I see some new sour candy. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna try it, and it's like, this is just fucking sugar.
Yeah, get some malic acid and just add it to literally anything.
I might have to do that. It's not a bad idea. All right, so moving forward, how do you feel about backseat gaming? Is it allowed on your channel, or do you mind it?
So it depends. I am okay with it in moderation and if I ask for help. But if you're just telling me how to play the game, hell no.
Okay,
I was playing Stray last night, and Johnny was there to be my backseat, just in case I get confused and lost because I suck at puzzle games. On stream, I will never say that. I will say I am the greatest at puzzle games. I solve every puzzle in half a second. I am the god. Like, no, I suck at puzzles. And Johnny didn't even have to really tell me much. Like, he would start to hint towards something, but as he starts doing that, I figure it out. So, but I mean, if I get truly lost, yeah, please backseat, but don't like spoil it. Don't tell me 100% of everything unless I'm just like really stupid in that moment. But if you're just like telling me like, oh, just press this button, do that, go do this specific thing. No, let me figure it out. Am I stuck in a part and I don't know what to do? Give me a hint, or you can even tell me pretty much what to do as long as I'm like truly stuck.
All right, so that's understandable. There are some channels where backseating is completely not allowed.
Yes.
Like people will ban you for backseating, and I think that's a bit harsh. But also, I get where some people come from. What's up, Renegade? Welcome to the stream. But me personally, I don't mind backseating. It also depends on the game. So like, I will tell you, God of War is coming out. That is one of my all-time favorite games.
I'm gonna backseat that for you.
You will not. That's not gonna happen. I'm gonna play it the moment it releases. I'm gonna be at home doing that. Like the blue, thank you very much.
I'm gonna find a contact within the company and get a code early, just so I can backseat.
If you do that and you don't get me a code early, I think that's where our friendship ends. If I find
That's
out,
fair.
if I find out that you have the code and that I wouldn't recommend it, I'm like, you know what? It's out of here. Who's this?
Who the hell is here?
Hey, yo, Renegade, get up out. Sorry, thought I locked it. My bad. I thought I locked it before stream.
You're good. You're good.
My bad, Renegade. It's an interview process. I can't be doing it.
Thank you, West.
I will not allow this. This will not be allowed.
Everyone's backseating it.
Listen, you know what? You know what? I will flip a desk. That's what's gonna happen. It wouldn't let me lock it. I'll deal with. I will set a code for it next time. I apologize. For some reason, it wouldn't let me lock this. I don't know why. I'm Discord new. I've not decided to actually sit and learn. It's in streamer mode. Like I'm looking at it right now. Show streamer mode. But yeah, so I've not actually sat down to try to learn Discord yet. That is on my list of to-dos. But personally, I don't mind backseating. Someone's Discord. Look, I have streamer mode enabled right now. I'm looking at it. Literally, it says
we always hear your notifications.
I don't know how to fix that. It says streamer mode is enabled. Stay safe. That's what it says right now.
I'm sure there's another thing that probably just got toggled on by accident.
It's a learning experience to learn every day. I already said I'm short. Kenzie, why the fuck are you away? You're supposed to be moving on. But yeah, I don't personally mind it, but again, like you said, in certain games, it definitely is one of those that, yeah, please don't do it. But I will say, like, if people start getting too antsy with it, I mean, hey, calm down. Which is crazy because when I was playing Elden Ring, I got lost at the end. I literally spent like 6.5 hours, and I was like right around the corner from the final bosses, the final 2 bosses to end the game. And I was asking everybody, like, do y'all know where the fuck to go? Because I spent 2 whole streams just wandering this cavern, and I was just like, I don't know where I'm supposed to go. And I looked it up, and I literally felt like the stupidest person on the planet. Because I was like, really? I literally, I had to walk around a corner, and that was it. So yeah. Sometimes backseating is okay. All right, so next question. What would qualify someone to be a moderator in your channel?
If you're not Johnny Boombots, no, I'm joking. Johnny's fucking amazing. He's a great mod.
Heard it here first, folks. Name's Johnny Boombots. You can't be modded.
Well, he's got a green sword there, so. No, it's someone that shows up frequently. I mean, you don't have to be there every single stream. But someone that shows up frequently, someone that does nothing but support, follows all the rules. Because I mean, the most basic rules for every single stream is don't be an asshole, don't be mean to other people.
Mm-hmm.
If you can follow that, you can technically be a mod anywhere as long as you're chatting, supporting, and doing everything you can. Supporting doesn't even have to be monetary, just being there and doing what you can, coming up with ideas, giving feedback. Supports the chat, like Johnny said, someone that interacts. And, depending on stream size, if there's room for another mod, then great. But yeah, you just have to be there in the channel and be supportive in every facet possible.
I can agree with that. Also, Bearded Trash Panda, welcome to the Great Heathen Army. Thank you for that follow. I appreciate it. I actually haven't given too much thought to being a moderator. or having mods on my channel. Johnny has been one since the beginning, and he's been that way because he literally helps me with all types of shit in here. Ra is one. I call her my super mod because she'll be modding for like 15 people at one time, and just you can be like, "Hey, can I get a shout out?" And it's just like I think she has hotkeys set up for everybody because it's insane how fast that shit fucking happens. Uh, West is one of my moderators. Same reason as Mr. Boombots is because he comes in and helps me with a lot of things, and I appreciate that. Kainsey is one of my newer mods, and it's because of how often in our relationship we talked about our relationship a little bit earlier, and it's one of those he comes in and supports and helps any way he can as well. So he's a mod. The only mod that I have that is just kind of there, and I don't mean this in a bad way, is Low Tone Jones. I tell the story.
Yeah.
I've told it before. He swindled me into becoming a mod back when I had like 60 followers. So way back in the day, he literally came in. I don't even remember what I was doing, but he asked me. He was like, "Hey, you don't have any mods?" I was like, "The fuck's a mod?" He's like, "Ah, just do this and type my name in, and it'll be all right." And I was like, "All right, cool, whatever." And literally, I had no idea what I just did, but yeah, he's been a mod, and I'm not gonna unmod him. Me and him, we built a friendship over the time that I've been streaming. He's a really cool dude, and I believe that's all the mods I have. I think my brother is a mod, and maybe my wife. I think my wife is. Yeah, my wife is. I don't know why I
So she
said
better
maybe,
be.
but yeah. So I mean, most of the people that are my mods are, I consider them very close friends. We talk outside of Twitch. Uh, we don't specifically only talk about Twitch, and they most of them are people that are super active and helpful whenever I need help. That's just
So
it's one of them.
two things for you on this topic.
Okay,
One addressing West, because I know you kind of talked about it with him when you interviewed him, but someone that doesn't stream and knows Twitch's back end, when your mods are streamers, they're not always around to help.
I agree.
What are your thoughts?
I think having a mod that is not a streamer is a blessing that a lot of people don't have. I'll admit, the two mods that I have that aren't streamers are my brother and my wife. My brother doesn't know much about Twitch. Most of the stuff he knows about it is stuff I've taught him, and my wife is pretty much the same way. Also, I don't think it'd say bad for me to say that, or it sounds bad for me to say this, but it's not meant in the way that I mean it. I don't think my wife really cares enough to be a mod, and I don't mean that in a she doesn't care or support me because she does. She's one of my biggest supporters. I just don't think on this end of of Twitch, I don't think she cares enough to sit down and try to learn everything about it specifically to help me because most of the time when I'm streaming, she's dealing with our kid. So it would be really hard for her to be a full time mod for me and then back up and be a full time mom as well at that point. Renegade has redeemed name of Pokemon. If you would put what name you would like that in the chat, I will write it down. And next time we do the Soul Link, I got you. Sorry, but yeah, that's the most ideal situation I think to get a moderator that is an active supporter to you, but also comes up and is
Yes, West is right.
fast. Wife is the best mind in the world. I agree.
Yep. Yeah.
But it's one of those like I don't want to put more stuff onto my wife because she does so much already. Like she does my merch. So if y'all don't know about my merch, if y'all would like to check out that link tree, it'll take you to the Etsy shop. That is her shop. That is her personal business, and that will take you to where you can purchase my merchandise, and not only mine. She has custom T-shirts, custom tumblers. She has custom everything. Literally, if you want your face on a T-shirt, she'll put it there. The limits to what she can do are endless. She just got a brand new printer for her business, and it literally can do
On a printer.
every fucking. I don't know exactly what it's named. It's expensive as fuck. I can tell you. I'd take
My
a loan out just to get it.
my wife runs a sticker shop on Etsy, and I do my own merch. Not that my merch is really live. Like I have like the basic one for the hat or like stream elements, but I'm gonna be making my own merch. Um, so I'm definitely following your wife's shop now because have to support the local people.
I appreciate that.
I mean, even just to show this NSLB
The boombox
Johnny,
shirts.
I'm normally wearing it, but it's too hot to wear a long sleeve right now.
I have his Whiskey Wednesday shirt in my closet, and I wear it every once in a while.
But
And West,
always represent something.
speaking of merch, West asked me a question a while back, and I just remembered that I didn't answer him. She did tell me, you was looking at the hoodies that one night. She said that the reason the sizes aren't on there is because she does the hoodies and t-shirts for baby clothes, toddler, youth, and adult. So when you do purchase it, you put it in the comment section what size you need. That's why she does that. I just remembered I never actually told you that. Yeah. Rocky's been putting down mountains.
But so the last thing I want to go on, other than like, I think the ideal mod is 2 people, not just a singular mod. I want the mod that is the person that's always there that doesn't stream, but at the same time, I want the streamer there because the streamer knows more than the non-streamer does ultimately on how Twitch actually works. So I want that to kind of have the good back and forth on it.
I can agree with that. I don't remember who somebody told me very recently that I need to get a mod
Not always.
that is gonna be here that's not a streamer because then like they could do all the stuff. So like if I'm in the middle of streaming, like, hey, can you put an announcement up that I'm about to do my giveaway? They can go to my Discord and they can do all this and make the post and stuff. So I'm not stopping stream to go do that. But it's one of those. I haven't met. So a majority of my supporters that come and hang out and be in stream with me are streamers. So it's one of those. I haven't really met somebody who's not a streamer come in and be a solid supporter in that end. Most people that aren't streamers, they come in and they hang out for a little bit, then they disappear. Which nothing wrong with it. If you don't enjoy all my content, I understand. But I would like a mod that is not a streamer to be in chat, telling me what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong, and be able to like kind of do stuff like that. You know what I mean? Hey yo, Joby, you changed your name on me. Welcome in, Joby. I love you.
Well, I want to address that, but let's put that at the end. So I'll save it for you.
Oh, the questions.
Yeah. So I'll save that one, and we'll come back to that at the end because that's actually a really good one that I'd like to address. Last part about the mods before we move on. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Can I weasel my way in right now and be a mod?
Sure. Why not? Okay.
Nope.
Do not care.
I'm the new low tone. You have a new story. I put you on the spot.
Let's see. See if I remember to do this correctly. I think this is.
Hell yeah! There we go.
Oh, gotcha. Can I be a mod? Renegade, we can talk about it. I got one that just weaseled away and got another one trying. No, I'm Renegade. We can definitely talk about it. I'm not. One of my follow-up questions to that was going to be, do you have like a plans for the future to put something like in your Discord saying like applying for your mod or applying to be a mod or something? Do you have plans to do that? Mod Gansey, shut up, Gansey.
Not necessarily, only because I think who I have as mod right or my mod team right now is going to pan out for the foreseeable future. I'm sure eventually I will, but Discord wise, no. Twitch wise, I have a plan on my next like couple mods. But I just have to get the channel there first.
To elaborate on what I meant by that, Johnny, was not to like have people directly be mods, but have like a application process to where like they can apply for it and then you can review their application and then test it. I guess would be the best way to look at it. That is where my brain goes. So like I've seen some of the bigger discords that I'm in. That's one of the things they do. They let you apply for stuff. But I do know that the application process, like you said, it does cause hurt feelings. One of the bigger discords that I'm in, I am a moderator for it, and we've had a couple of people that applied for it, and they're just I don't mean to call them out, but like other people see them as unfit, and they've applied like 6 or 7 times, and they've been denied every time, and it's one of those like bro, they're denying you, they're denying you for a reason. So it's one of those I typically don't think about mods as often as I probably should because, like we've talked about this before, I am trying to grow this into a full time thing. Thank you, Renegade. But like, I'm trying to grow this into a full time thing, and I also don't want to have too many mods because I don't want to just like. I've seen some people's channels, and to each their own. I don't want to call it fit. But I actually did set up the exclamation point clip today, West. I did that today before stream. But it's one of those like I don't want to have everybody in my channel be a mod. I don't want every single person that comes in being moderated. And it's not because I don't want to mod people. It's just one of those. I think it's moderation is the best way to have that. So like if you have 12 people in your chat and you have 13 mods, it's one of those like at some point like not everybody can be a mod if that makes sense. Yeah, like Kainsey said he had 13 at one point. He had to go through and decide on who he was moving around and stuff. And I know the situation there. I was part of that stream when it happened. The person came in and they got really mad because he unmodded them. So it's just one of those like, you got to figure it out at some point. I've got no problem moderating people, and I also have no problem with taking the mod privileges away from people if necessary.
That's something you have to be not afraid of doing.
Damn, Rocky called him out. I just saw that. Damn. Let's remove his mod. That's fucking hilarious.
I was trying to let it slide and just see who noticed.
But yeah, that's one of those like I don't have problems like if I really know you and like we've had multiple conversations outside of Twitch and not only talking about Twitch, yes, I would be more likely to moderate you. But at the same time it's one of those it's a growing thing. As I grow, I'll have more mods and I'll talk to more people about it. I'm sure some people won't want to be mods anymore because there are some people that feel bad about being moderated and don't show up to your streams because they have either the same streaming schedule or whatnot. So it's one of those like some people will fall off, some people will join. It's a growing process permanently. I will ask you. I asked this question a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to ask you again, or ask you this time. At what point do you think that your moderators should start getting paid?
So moderators should always be paid. But the hard thing is you have to make the right financial decision as the streamer when you can afford to do that. I know Johnny has talked about wanting to set up a separate tipping section so you can tip the mods instead of tipping him. And something like that. Yeah, I'm always asking for checks. Come on.
Hey, he did say hashtag sellout. All right. Hashtag money grab over here.
Money grab. Yep, there we go. No, I've made the jokes in Johnny's chat. I'll just be like, yo, you guys getting paid to the other mods? Just like, wait, there's money? No, but it's you have to make the right financial decision for yourself. The money that I take in, very similar to you, I reinvest back into the stream. Once I get the things that I need, what am I going to do with the money? Well, obviously, I'm going to want to use it for myself and my family. But if I have any excess funds, I would love to give back to my mom. They'll get paid except for Rocky. Fuck. Okay.
Johnny gets 50% of the mod tips.
But yeah, no, I think it's solely up to the streamer and what they find financially responsible for themselves. And I would love to pay my mods. I will say only like 2 of them ever show up, but and one of them is now Johnny because I needed him to be mod for Stray. Because I didn't want people spoiling it and people were doing like raids with account names that spoiled the game.
Yeah, he put that up on my Discord as well. I never
Yeah,
would have
so I
assumed people would do that.
I never thought people would do that either. So I literally had to mod him just so I don't get the game spoiled for me. And not that I don't want to mod Johnny, it's just I don't think technically with the amount of mods I have versus my channel size, I don't want to have that many mods. But right now, Johnny has to be there for my own protection of the game.
Yeah. So I think the first person I asked that question to was Luckbug, and he made a solid point, and I'm gonna reiterate it, but I'm gonna play off of it as well. He said that he thinks y'all should start getting paid as mods once I start pulling in more money as the streamer. And I agree with that statement. I think when I start pulling in real money, that's when y'all should definitely be taking more money. So the way I would pay my moderators right now is I'm not in a financial place to be able to actually pay them. So what I do is I repay them with support, and it's not just supporting on streams. So like if I see you posting on TikTok, YouTube, Hover, Instagram, I automatically, if I know you, I see you, I like your video, off rip, even if I haven't watched it, I let the entirety of the video play, no matter how long it is. And then most of the time I comment on it, even if it's just a little emoji, because those are all contributing factors into what goes into growth, into the algorithms for like specifically TikTok. For TikTok and YouTube, you do all of those. That is how I do it. Except Kansy. Kansy gets repaid in insults, but he deserves that. You're cool with
Well,
that.
he gets paid by everyone with that, so mod or not.
I agree. And Jovi, yeah, that's another thing is activity in the chat. I think, or I guess, yeah, in the chat or in the channel would be the best. Like you said, having somebody like that come in and like monitor how much each mod does, rather than say, hey, at the end of the month, all my mods, this is how much you're getting. Like, say if I moderate everybody that I have a mod right now, say, hey, at the end of the month, all of y'all are getting a $20 bill. But like, say Johnny's the only one that shows up for the month, then is it fair that Johnny's only getting $20 and all the other mods are getting it and they didn't show up? So there's definitely a give and take with how mods go, especially I think when it comes to getting paid. I think at that point it should be more of their job to show up. I think that's a really bad way to say it because that makes it seem like you're paying for viewers. But if I'm paying you, it would be one of those like I need you to be here because I'm paying you for it. It's a job. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not that there's a way to like clock in and out with modding
Yeah,
because
definitely.
I know with Johnny, like Bullhead, he is a silent mod. You'll never know he's
Mm-hmm.
there until you see him time someone out or ban someone. How do you know that that person's there as a streamer?
You don't unless you
Uh,
keep your viewers pulled up, and I think that's just mentally not the best thing to do.
exactly. So figuring out a system, like you essentially need to do like a clocking in and out, but there's no way of verifying that they're actually there.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you set a rule with the mod team that you have to do some kind of interaction with chat, whether it's channel points, just a message or something.
Uchi,
Every
thank you
so
for the
often they prove
biddies.
that you're there.
I
Yes.
agree. So Joey just put a really good point in the chat. He said he's heard it's a good to have one mod for every 10 viewers you get. What do you think about the ratio? Now, I think yes and no to that ratio. Yes, once you start getting more into like 70, 80, 90, yes. I think when you're 50 below, I think it's okay to have 4 or 5 mod or 3 or 4 mods that may or may not show up. But then again, that also depends on the community of people you bringing in. So like the community of people I bring in at the moment is more they're most everybody's laid back, they're chill. We talk shit to each other, but like anytime a new face joins in, they're all always really kind and really friendly. I think that's fine, but once you mix in some more of the people that are kind of a little more toxic towards each other, I think you know a lot of people will tell you streaming, you're pretty much just setting yourself up to be bullied by your community, which is 100% true. Everybody's community bullies them, but at to what extent is allowed is where the moderators come in. So I don't know. It's a healthy mix. I think 1 for every 10. I think that could be a bit excessive in the beginning, but definitely worth it if you're streaming to 1,000 people. I definitely think 1 for every 10 would be decent. But then again, where do you draw the line on how many mods you got to have? Because if you're streaming to 1,000 people, do you want 100 mods in there?
Oh,
I mean, I don't know. The most people I've ever had in here is 43. That's a number I've been chasing to beat for the longest. But I don't know. I don't know what the healthy ratio would be. I'm honestly I've never looked into that. Like I said, I really, as far as like moderating goes, I really haven't looked too much into moderators.
uh, so my thought with like the 1 to 10, but with your example of 1,000 and having 100 moderators, you have to feel comfortable enough to trust 100 moderators with that
Mm-hmm.
kind of power. And it's hard to actually monitor what they're doing. I mean, obviously you can go look and see timeout records, bans, and everything, but you're streaming on top of, in most people's situations, a full-time job or
Mm-hmm.
part-time job, on top of a personal life, on top of whatever else you have going on. You can't keep up with that. And when you have that many people and you doing everything else in your life, I think, I mean, honestly, I personally wouldn't want to go above 20. It doesn't matter the size.
I
My
can
my view can change on that, but I don't think I'd want to go above 20 ever.
I could see that, but at the same time, if you are streaming to hundreds of people, do you think 20 people is enough to keep up with all of the chats flowing constantly and moving through? Also,
At a rate of 1,000
KA41,
people, yes.
thank you for that follow. Welcome to the Great Heathen Army. Welcome in, welcome in. Best way to do moderating is 2 mods per stream. I can see that. If you can have, I really think 2 to 3 solid mods that can, if 1 to 2 of them can show up every stream and be there for so much of the stream and then turn around back, hey, I gotta head out. Can one of y'all take over? I think that is the most uh efficient way. But also it's a balancing game because the way I look at it right now, I can't afford to pay moderators. Like I said, I pay people with support. Sometimes that's not good enough, and I completely understand if you're like, hey, I gotta go do my own shit. Do it because I'm not paying you. I can't full on give you money for that. So I understand that some people look at it as less of a job than it really is. But moderating is definitely a job. Hey, thank you for them biddies. I'm sorry that my sound alerts aren't working. I really don't know why.
Paw41, big supporter of me. You were chatting with him a little bit last night. Got his firearms license or
Oh,
sales
nice.
license. So
Nice. Welcome in, welcome in.
great, dude.
But yeah, so it's one of those that I would like to be able to pay my mods for the simple fact that I appreciate everything they do. But at the same time, there's definitely a process of trying to figure out where to draw the line because how can you as a streamer moderate what your mods are doing and how often they come in and hang out and actually do what the mods are supposed to do? How often are they hyping up chat? How often are they helping out with the Discord and stuff? Discord, look right there, just saying. But yeah, like doing stuff like that, it's very difficult to say how much you should get paid versus how much somebody else should, or when it's appropriate to start paying. Um, I do my best at paying with my support. I know some people don't find that to be the best way to do it, but at the same time, that's what I offer. But if by some miracle I blow up overnight and I get partnerships with, like, let's just say G Fuel or some shit, if I do that, then boom, that gives me an extra revenue of income to be like, oh, okay, every time I see a check from this is what I'm pushing over to y'all. This is for y'all to have because y'all are helping me do everything. Whiskey. Yes. Maybe we push up some whiskey shots. I've done that quite often. I have not had whiskey on the stream since Magic Riddler came out, and I'll be honest, I don't know if whiskey's gonna make an appearance on the stream again after that. That was a rough night.
As long as there's tequila, I'll be happy.
I'm okay with tequila. Have you ever mixed tequila with blueberry lemonade? If you have not, you're missing out on it.
I have not. I've never had blueberry lemonade though, so
Mix it, mix those two up. Perfect combination.
any specific kind of whiskey or tequila? Sorry.
No.
No?
There's one that I used to get. I don't even remember what it's called. I legit got the tequila because somebody told me to mix that. They gave me the combination. It was like, oh, try this, and I was like, all right, cool, bet. And I tried it, and it was really fucking good.
I agree with Raw. I think Magic Riddler does need to make an appearance for those of us that are not familiar.
Oh my god! So I don't even want to tell the story. Yeah,
Don't worry, tell another time.
Magic Riddler was that night was I did a drinking stream, and this was back when I did one shot per sub. So every time
Ooh,
somebody would
that's
sub.
dangerous.
So also this is I'll tell part of the story. I have the video and picture. I'm sure.
Johnny,
Yeah,
please share it. Please share it.
I can send you the picture right now. I had to send it to somebody yesterday because they didn't believe me on it. But yeah. So on my channel point redemptions, I have take a shot. That's one of my channel point redemptions, and
That's really dangerous.
you were fucking right because at the time I did um not have a redemption time or a time limit on it or how many it could be redeemed in a stream. Literally, just it was there. So yes, I was about 30. I had 30 subs ish that night, so I had 30 shots. And actually, I was taking shot for shot. And I was doing decent. I was pretty fucked up, but I was doing good. And then the good sir, Mr. Johnny Boombots, Kainsey West, and about three others decided they was just gonna spam my channel point redemption. Literally, just I think they hit it about 4 or 5 times in a row, and I was just like, "Fuck all y'all, that's not happening." And funny thing about that is, I actually that night, while I was beyond drunk, cut off my channel points because somehow drunk me knew what I was doing and I didn't. Lugbug, welcome to the stream, man. Yeah, long day tomorrow. It's all good. Yeah, yeah.
No.
That was the picture. My there's some clips of how drunk I got. It was rough. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, we appreciate you stopping in, Lugbug. Thank you, man. But yeah. So we might do a sub goal for a drunk stream one night, and the whiskey will come back. So I don't know if that'll happen. We'll talk about that later, and we'll set a goal for it. Oh, you're talking. Yeah. So they're talking about when I fell out of my chair. Rocky, I think you muted yourself.
Did I?
All right, never mind. It looked like you was moving your mouth, but I didn't hear anything.
Oh no.
So yeah, the Magic Riddler story was that was one of those drunken things that I didn't think I was going to talk about on Twitch, and I don't remember how the conversation started. Somebody said something, and I was just like, "Well, how about this?" I'm not going to do it just because this is going on YouTube, so I'm not going to get into that story. I'll tell you off stream.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah. All right, so let's move on. We're moving on to the end of the streams, or end of the questions. That's not the one. All right, so currently, since we're talking about mods and whatnot, what is something you do to give back to your mods as a token of appreciation?
My endless love and support. Like with Clever, he's not a stream. He's not like a Twitch mod because, like I said, he's someone I want to mod. He's someone I plan on modding once I get the channel big enough to want to or for the need to accommodate another person. But he's a mod in my Discord. Um, I'm teaching him how to stream, and it's not because he's a person that I mod. It's because he's a person I respect. But um, I will give him the time of day whenever possible to help him in any situation that presents itself, whether it's stream related or personal life. And I extend that, not only he gives us pets, I that too. The good little pats on the top of the head. Um, but you will get my time of day more so than the random person that gets in my DMs for whatever happens in life. It's the same thing, Johnny, but you do get more attention from me because being a moderator in any fashion, whether it is strictly on Twitch or on Discord or on any platform that has moderation, you have my respect and trust. So therefore you get more attention.
I like it. So I've told you already what I do for my mods. I go through and I support them on all platforms that they post on, or I attempt to. Um, like I said, if I see their content, I go through it, I like it, I comment on it, and I watch the entirety of the video, just because that helps with the algorithms. That helps with potentially being viewed by other people. This kind of payment personal growth. If I can like your video and comment on it, and it sends it to one extra person, that's a win. At least I think it is. Not all people who come to your channel are going to like it. Not all people are going to come back and view your channel again. Like, I have 760 something followers on here, and as much as I would love to have every single one of them in here, it just, not all the people that come in and actually followed are people that actually like my content. So it's just one of those, like, it's one of those. I don't know how to explain it in a better way, but I would love for everybody that follows me to come back and enjoy my content every single time I go live. But the unfortunate thing about that is my content isn't for everybody. I'm not always a family friendly streamer. I do curse quite a bit, which I am working on trying to get better at. It's just one of those things. I don't think I have to cuss as often as I do sometimes, but also, fuck it, I don't care. Be honest. Watch the full video on Pornhub and West.
There it is.
I watch his OnlyFans videos. I don't watch his Pornhub. I have class. I pay him for his videos, okay?
Yeah, but the advertisement revenue on Pornhub, come on.
I didn't think of it that way. I apologize. I'll go watch all your videos, West. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's one of those. It's a way that you can do that. See, it's not that I don't want to not curse on my channel as much, because I'm not trying to be a family friendly streamer. I'm not trying to go the ninja route and not curse at all on my channel. It's just, that's not who I am as a person. But it's one of those, if I can curse less, because I have caught myself where like 6 out of the 8 words I've said were cuss words. It's just one of those, if I could make that a more even ratio, it would work out in my own head. Tristle, thank you for the alert, man. Appreciate you. But moving on to our last and final question. Mr. Rocky, if there is one piece of advice you can give a brand new streamer, somebody who started streaming today, what would you give them?
I couldn't give just one. One would be, don't give up. Just don't. It'll be hard. It will always be hard. You'll find hard days. You'll find bad days. You'll find great days where it's so easy. Don't give up if it's your passion. But the other is, find someone, not necessarily, they don't have to have a huge community, but someone with a larger community that has been through it, that has gone through all the troubles and still is, obviously, because we all will. And talk to them, because talking to Johnny and Cyro in our chat really helps open my eyes, because you can say in your stream, I have these troubles. Cool. Sure, you're saying it on stream, you're just trying to be that guy that just says it. But then, like, seeing people talk about their exact troubles off stream where no one else can see it makes life a lot easier.
I think I can agree with. See, so I asked you this question, and I'll be honest, I don't have an actual answer because I'm still learning it. I still learn every time I hit that go live button. I learn something new, whether it's a personal thing or if it's something from somebody else that I've taken inspiration from. I would suggest for somebody brand new to support people, because, and I don't mean like go in and say, hey, I lurk, and then leave, because that, some people will look at that as support, but I mean, go into one person's stream. Like, if you're brand new to it, go into one person's stream, have a conversation with them. Then 30, 45 minutes. Have a real, true conversation. Get to know them a little bit. Maybe join their discords. Maybe get to know them on another platform, whether it be TikTok, Instagram, or whatever. Actually show that real support. That will bring people to support you because I'm like, see that person in here all the time. So I mean, that is my piece of advice. I'm not saying that just because I want more support, but I've been doing a test lately. So I went on a big. It's been a couple months ago now. It's 2 or 3 months ago. Yeah, networking is a very very big key thing. That's actually probably the hardest part about this job is network. But I went on a big Discord networking trip. So I wanted to test something. I tested in Discord. I spent literally 4 or 5 hours a day while I was at work and while I was off work in everybody's Discord, like any of the bigger ones that I'm in, and just hanging out, talking, trying to have a conversation with literally everybody that was talking and seeing how much support would come from just networking in a Discord. And surprisingly, the results were kind of very, very low when it comes to just networking in Discord. And then I decided instead of networking in Discords, because one, I look at other people's Discords. So like I'll look at other Discords and I'm like, I don't want to come in your Discord and try to network in yours if it's not a actual support Discord. I won't come in your Discord and try to steal support from you. I won't come in there and the people you have in your Discord, I won't try and pull them into my Discord and be like, hey, come support me instead. I don't do that. Now, if it's a bigger Discord where it's meant for stuff like that, then yes, I'll come in, I'll hang out, I'll talk. But like I tried that and it just didn't work. And then I came to where I'd come to Twitch and I would network with people on Twitch and I noticed that there was a growth there. That growth does drop on and off. It happens, but that's part of being a part of Twitch. Support's not always gonna be here. Grumpa Love, welcome in. How are you doing? Well, yeah, I think that's the best piece of advice I can give to a new streamer is just network with people, get to know somebody, and have a real solid conversation with them. You just don't mention your stream. Yes, do not mention your own stream unless somebody asks. So self promo is one of the worst fucking things you can do in somebody's stream, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I was big on self promo when I first started streaming. I wanted people to come in and self promote their stuff. I'm trying to mess with OBS. Thought I was having to check. No. You're okay. That's fine. But so like for a long time, I don't know about you with self promotion. Not speaking in Discord. That's your loss as an opportunity to network. I don't say I don't speak in Discords. I do still try to talk to people. It's just if that is your personal Discord for your channel and stuff. If you have a group of people that came to your Discord, I don't want to come in there and try to network into that and then try and pull people away from you to me. Because you worked hard for those supporters. You worked hard to get those people chatting in your Discord. I don't want to be that asshole that's like, hey, I'm DMing you. Hey, here's my Discord link. Now, if you come and happen to see my link in somebody's Discord and you come and watch me and then you follow my Discord, okay. But I'm not gonna actively try to poach people from other Discords. That's what I mean by that, Johnny. I do still try to network in Discords and talk to people. It's just one of those. I don't know how to explain it properly. It's just one of those. I don't actively go into other people's Discords trying to think. But yeah, I was self promotion. I was huge into it. I wanted people to come in and self promote. I wanted everybody to see the love and support from each other. And then I had this little asshole kid come in. I was having a good night. I had 7 or 8 people in here, and he was like, "Hey, I'm close to affiliate. Rate out to me." And I tell everybody when I stream for a minimum of 2 hours. Every time I hit go live, it's a minimum of 2 hours, and I'm here hanging out talking. I've been live for like 40 minutes, and this kid was like, "Rate out to me so I have the views so I can get affiliate." And I was just like, "Not doing that." Like he said that in a whisper, respectfully. I mean, it's one of those. He did it. He did a shitty thing, but it was also one of those like he did it respectfully. And I was like,
Okay.
yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm having too much fun with what's going on. And then he messaged in my chat. I was like, hey, have you hosted me yet? And I was like, is what? No. That was the first person I ever banned from my chat. I don't even remember his name. Yeah.
For a good reason that you don't remember his name. I love self promotion. if I tell you it's okay.
That right there.
I support my friends like Riddler. If you're ever in my stream, do it respectfully, but feel free. Talk about yourself because I will hype you up. Johnny, same thing. You know, it's as long as I know you, respect you, and we have that understanding, go for it. Don't spam it. Don't do a whole thing. But please, if you're a person that I have specifically said it's okay for, I will always tell my mods what's going on so they know not to ban you. But anytime, please, please, please self-promo yourself if I tell you it's okay.
Yeah, that is another big thing right there. Is self promotion when asked. Perfectly fine. If I don't ask you for it, don't fucking tell me. It's just it's
But
Twitch etiquette. It's respectful. Now, the only other form of self promotion that I have tolerated, and it's just one of those, is like if I'm playing, say, Elden Ring, for example, just because that was a really big game. People come in like, yeah, I was streaming that the other night. All right, cool. I'll let those slide. But at the same time, if you bring it up multiple times, it's like, all right, bro, hey, I know what you're doing. Calm down. That's another reason. So like, you see some people, and I don't bash anybody for this. It's just a personal preference of mine. People who every time somebody comes in, they get a shout out, and like, I don't mind that. I really don't. But I I personally don't want that. So like when you come into my chat and I'm like, "Hey, Rocky, what's up, man?" I would rather be the one to greet you. I'd rather be the one that chooses if you get a shout out. So like I try to keep my shout outs to, if you do 1,000 bits, you get a shout out, or if you sub. There are those few exceptions, like my moderators. I will give them shout outs as soon as I see them. But it's one of those I don't want. It sounds selfish, but it's not the way I'm trying to make it sound. I don't want every single person to only come to my stream. So like say I'm having a really good night and I don't, let's say 15 people, and you only come to my stream to say hey, so you get that shout out in hopes that those 15 people check you out. That's one of the reasons that's one of those, that's the reason I try to limit my shout outs. It's not me being an asshole, it's just me being like, I if I know you and respect you and you're a moderator in my channel, then cool. I'm gonna give you a shout out because I want people to come and see you. And it's not that if you're not a moderator, I don't want people to come see you. It's just one of those like I don't want to abuse that system.
Yep. My shout outs are reserved for raids. And anyone that I specifically want to give a highlight. But what I will say about giving you guys permission, there you go. That's the best kind of there's the hashtag sellout.
I don't have the none of those are working tonight for some reason. I got to figure that out tomorrow. My sound alerts haven't been working either.
For Johnny, don't even wait for my permission. You guys have been granted permission. Until I tell you otherwise. If you hop in, obviously I don't want you to hop in, drop that, and leave, but
Johnny, you heard what we must do from now on. We jump in, shout out, and then we skip the fuck out.
But especially if you got something coming up, like something you want to really advertise, fucking drop it. Or you just want to be like, hey guys, I stream too. I don't really give a fuck when it's you guys.
Hashtag we got a giveaway Friday.
Anyone else, it's immediate timeout, or if it's second time, it's just a straight ban.
Going in, just saying hey and leaving. Yeah, that's a dick move. That's one of the reasons I don't. That reason right there is exactly why I don't shout out every single person that comes to the stream. It's because there are some people that will be like, "Oh, hey, he's got big numbers. Let's go get a shout out and then leave." So that also Nerve, she has a shout out command on, or not command, on her channel point redemption. At any point you can redeem it. It's 1 point, and you can redeem it for that reason. I actually really like that. I think that's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
I considered putting that on my channel as well. I haven't fully like full sent it and thought about it, but I really like that concept. I think it's a good one because then you don't feel obligated to give anyone a shout out unless they do that, and it's only once per stream. I seen that. I was like, that's actually a really good idea. I like. But Mr. Rocky, I would like to say first and foremost, thank you so much for coming and joining me tonight. It is greatly appreciated. I had a lot of fun here. And something that I've been doing recently, I've been letting my guests pick where we take the raid to. So if you would like, if you have somebody specific you would like to pick, or if you have somebody that you just want to pick randomly, I would say go ahead and find them. If that is okay with you.
Yeah, no, I'll find someone here.
It's just one of those.
Of course, the people that I would love to do are just not live.
You'll see a message from Johnny in a second. Loads up PC. Great interview, you guys.
No, that'll be a band, Johnny.
Thank you, Bucci. Booch, how was your stream tonight? I hope it was great, man. But let's see. If you want to shoot me whatever name you pick on Discord, and I'll copy and paste it.
Yeah, let's
and
see.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna give a little self promo section really quickly. Guys, if y'all are in here and y'all are not a member of the Discord, please consider joining it. There are a lot of really cool and amazing content creators, a lot of streamers, and a lot of really good people in my Discord. I'm trying to work on getting mine more active and talking with everybody. I do message everybody back. If you put a message in my Discord, I do message you back. I try to have a conversation with everybody. If you'd like to, please consider joining. It means the world to me. Also, if you'd like to check out the link tree right here, that will take you to any and every form of social media that I have. It'll take you to my TikTok, my Hover, my Instagram, my Twitter, my YouTube. I post on everything daily. The only thing I don't post on daily is YouTube at the moment, and I am working towards posting on that at least semi-daily. I have content planned. I'm working on things, so if y'all would be so kind to go and check out and support on those other channels, those little bit of supports mean the absolute fucking world, and I really do appreciate that. Bucci, thank you for the 69 biddies. Thank you. I always appreciate the shout out for my biz I don't have to stream. He has a really amazing name for his business. The Bang Bros thing, that is fucking phenomenal.
Bang Bros Tactical, yeah.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome.
Dude,
but
let's
yes.
do this.
Let's see. Let's check.
Dude, if there's 40 hours in a, that'd be great.
Let's check out. Yes, I wish I could do this a lot more often than I do. So at the moment I do stream 4 days a week. I am trying to make that more, but you know, I have to grow, I have to be able to still be a husband and a father and everything. So it's one of those, it's a very tough balancing act for me personally. But I am trying to work on being able to get more hours. But guys, we are going to end it here. If y'all are a member of the Great Heathen Army, a member of my horde, drop that Viking emote right there. It's a Viking raid. If y'all aren't, it's okay. You ain't got to be. All you got to do is type out